Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dead Unicorn. We are playing Vallanthia today. It's the Dead Unicorn Live. My name is Corey, and I'm here with Tarek, who is in a little bit of pain from a dislocated jaw, but he's getting there. Matt, who is he's Matt. Everybody likes Matt.
My internet's a little laggy,
Sarah,
so you might see a few hiccups here and there.
Sarah, who's late. And Howard, who's our game master for the day. Thank you, Howard, for running this game for us. Before we start, I'd like to thank my patrons scrolling in the upper corner there. If you want to join us on patreon.com/deadunicorn, you can vote for your favorite character and they get a special benefit, which for Vallanthia is a character point, which can definitely help out. And the winner of this week's poll is Telm, who is being played by Matt. See, I told you people like you, Matt. They love you.
Awesome.
Yay. They love, can't get enough of Matt.
I definitely appreciate it. I don't understand why I'm so appealing, but okay.
You're like
I'll accept your affection.
You're like the Vallanthia version of Groot.
Yeah, all of our patrons are really into mushrooms. That's what it is.
We're watching Sarah.
I like them on my pizza.
We're watching Sarah transform with makeup before our eyes. She did this once before during a stream.
Yeah, well, somebody
by the end of the
complains
stream,
if I don't wear makeup.
It's because
I don't know who that would be.
I think that when he complained, he probably thought that maybe you would put it on before the show, but I personally don't care. This could just lead into Sarah's makeup tutorial YouTube videos.
Exactly what I was gonna say. Is she's hitting a target demo in the audience who are specifically here only for makeup tutorials, even though
you just put that as one of the tags in all my videos. Also, free makeup tutorial.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, why not? If Bailey Sarian can combine true crime and makeup tutorials, why not gaming and makeup tutorials?
I have no idea what she's talking about, but I assume it's true.
She tells true crime stories while she puts on her makeup. People love it. She has like hundreds of thousands of followers.
What's amazing is they're all her true crimes.
Well, I believe we lost one of our players. Twinkle will not be returning for the time being.
Carlos is dead.
Yeah. No, he's not actually dead, but
he's
just
It
dead
was the
to
COVID.
us. Do not speak ill of the dead, for Carlos is no longer with us.
Yeah, it
Is Twinkle dead now?
No. I'll keep Twinkle around as a background NPC that you can occasionally access for whatever your junior alchemical needs are.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure Carlos would appreciate having Twinkle stick with the party. That's my assumption, though.
He might, but if he's never going to play it, I don't really want to run, his character forever for no reason.
All right.
Yeah, he's probably not going to care if he doesn't come back.
Well,
Yeah.
he might watch.
No, thanks to his unstable work schedule.
Yeah. Well, COVID or
Bummer.
Rona times. Capitalism in the times of Rona.
Yeah.
All right, so our last game, our gang decided to lick their wounds and sleep at the Murdered Squirrel Inn with their captured necromancer. The goat-horned wild elf called White Ape and the shadowy black elf named Esri undertook a walk through a blizzard to the Temple of the Light to report the situation. They returned with a Crimson Order soldier named Harold, who took charge of Ryland the Weasel's unconscious body and moved to the next room over. Then Tom created a mushroom forest in the corner of their suite in the Murdered Squirrel Inn, and he and Twinkle attempted to sleep off their inner turmoil created by having their souls shredded by Ryland's evil magic. During the night, White Ape, Erda, and Esri went to investigate a noise. They discovered Harold had been murdered. Ryland had escaped, and the ropes that had bound him lay cut on Harold's floor along with a lot of Harold's blood. Erda used his magic to somehow return all of the blood back to Harold, seal his slit throat, and force his heart to beat once more. Harold returned to life. In the morning, the group discussed the events and came to the conclusion that the ghost that Ryland had worked with before must have cut his bonds and freed him, and then he somehow portaled away. They also came to the conclusion that their friend Erda must also be a necromancer. However, they only actually saw blood magic, which they know nothing of. They traveled together with Harold, who seems unaware that he actually died last night, back to the Temple of Light. They told their tale to the Archbishop Cordray of the Azure Order. White Ape, unimpressed so far with the capabilities of the Azure Order, yelled at the Archbishop. and was promptly escorted out. And fortunate that that's all that happened. The rest of the gang convinced the Archbishop the earnestness of their words and asked for some sort of aid on their quest to recapture Ryland. The Archbishop assigned a talented investigator to their cause named Vallanthia Thornheart. When Vallanthia arrived, the gang immediately recognized him, for this was the same investigator that they attempted to bamboozle back at the overrated gauntlet the previous morning. Our gang just can't catch a break. So, when we come back to this game, you are all inside, White Ape is standing in front of the Temple of Light. The rest of you are inside the Temple of Light in front of the Archbishop Cordry. There are, I believe, 3 guards in the room, as well as the investigator, Vallanthia Thornheart.
I just want to say real quick, 500 points to Howard for that great ass intro. That was like an amazing. Can we get a round of applause? Can we do applause on here?
It was good.
Aw, thank you.
Corey, can we get more of that on our samurai?
You could totally be like a radio personality.
Do you want me to get like a little soundboard ready with different like effects that I can just click the button?
Yeah, like
and,
little
applause
fart
will
noises
happen,
and a gong. Yeah,
That
like
would
there'll be
cool.
a fanfare band or like.
yeah.
You know, I thought about that, but
Sure.
I don't know how to code, and just trying to get YouTube to start playing things fast enough, I didn't think I could do.
I can program this little guy to do that.
Oh, cool. All right. Hey, Corey, I do have a new graphic if you want to throw it up there as something to share in place of a map until we need a map.
I see giant characters.
Is it the
on
giant
top of the
characters?
continent.
Yeah, the one with the giant characters. Here, let me take
Sure,
the
we'll
grid
put that
off.
up.
I think I can do that. I can take the grid off, right? That's a thing.
Yes,
You
you
look
can
awesome.
remove the grid.
All right, grid off. Save. Boom. I did a thing. I've tried to work on y'all's tokens, make them look a little bit more like you describe them. I have to say this before we start game. Tarek, are you aware that you gave me a picture of a female Dunmer from Skyrim to be your pale male character in this game?
Is that?
He likes androgyny.
It's been really freaking Howard out for a while now.
I worked as hard as I could to make a pale character look kind of grayish, maybe sickly.
No. Pale is totally correct. Pale and sickly, yeah. And because my character is supposed to be sickly, and the reason I chose this picture was because it had you described their eyes as being like full, like no pupil.
They have enlarged pupils, so they don't have as much around the edge of the eye.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's. But yours had red eyes, so I tried to tint yours red as well.
Yeah, I looked for one that had red eyes because of the magic. I was like, oh, that would be interesting if he had just like
And walking around with your glowing red eyes. I'm not evil. I'm not a necromancer. I'm not doing demon magic. Why does everyone automatically here? Let me just bring this guy back to life with crazy magic where I put his blood back in his body. I'm not evil.
I'm just a dog. I'm just doing blood transfusions, people. Figure it out. Get on board.
Is that
with
anything
the
like
thing.
I am
Especially
not a
straight from the
cat?
floor.
Yeah.
I'm not a cat. That was a pretty great meme. And we will now date this video with that really great meme reference.
We can, yes. I am not a cat, I swear. Something a cat would say posing as a lawyer, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
All right. So, moving forward, Vallanthia is eyeing the group. He clearly recognized you, and he hasn't said anything yet. He's just standing there. And at which point, Cordry will make the Archbishop Cordry will make the introduction. Oh, Vallanthia, this man can get things done. He has been working on many necromancy cases. Is that correct? And Vallanthia just kind of looks at the Archbishop and gives a nod of respect, but he still kind of glares at him the way he glares at everybody. Like, I can't be disrespectful because that's the Archbishop, but you just get this air of, I don't like any of you, and it looks like it kind of goes to the Archbishop too.
So just a very broad aura of disdain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although he might have had an almost neutral look on his face right before he saw the group that he was going to be partnered with.
Oh, great. That inspires a lot of confidence.
Well, to be fair,
I'm just
y'all
an
told
ignorant-
him a whole pack of lies.
That is very
We
true.
did. We're big fat liars.
I'm just an ignorant mushroom man who does mushroom man things.
I'm just a mushroom from a mushroom family.
So why don't you? Sorry. So why don't you catch me up on whatever this case is about? He's looking at all of you standing in front of the Archbishop.
Do you want to take that, Erda?
Very well. We were contracted to investigate some trouble going on at an inn inside the lower district, the lower quarter. The establishment in question stated that they had a haunting problem where they felt that they had, a curse had been placed upon their establishment and had been plaguing their establishment for some time. There was discussion that singers, performers of some variety would be made very fearful for their lives, and some would even be attacked. Upon researching this information more, we discovered that there could have been some maleficent influence from some kind of magic user. It was a theory, at least. I am a practitioner of magical theory, a scholar of sorts, and seemed to follow in line with some rather darker magical origins. And after investigating this further and trying to draw out whatever spirit was cursing this establishment, we were able to identify a man who leapt forth and tried to flee the establishment as we were wrangling his magics under control. Luckily, my friends are quite light on their feet and were able to incapacitate the man while he was bound up. We were then going to enlist the assistance of the order, but my associate, White Ape, happened to come here and not receive as much assistance in the way that we had originally expected. So we brought a man from the Crimson Order to investigate with us and prove the ill deeds of this necromancer. And I believe we were able to do so. However, the man escaped late into the evening. We assume that he used some kind of spirit, perhaps the same exact spirit that we were unable to exorcise from the establishment, to escape, and left one of your compatriots, the Crimson Order man, quite jarred. Yes. Think that brings us up to now. Are we coming to report all of this information? I start pushing Esri forward, so I'm sure that more information could
Yes, well, so at this point, basically, we're having to recapture the person we already captured, because once we turned him over to the Azure Order, he was able to escape.
Yes.
All right. Well, I suppose we should go to the Murdered Squirrel. Is that the name of the place?
Yes.
I'll begin my investigation there. My understanding is that I'm accompanying you to investigate, that we are doing this jointly. And he looks at the Archbishop just to make sure this is really what he has to do. That's what, yes. Isn't it great when our citizens can come forward and work with us? So he will say fine, and he'll just kind of gesture out the door and look to see if y'all begin to go.
Sure, we'll follow him.
Yeah. Tom will just lumber along.
All right. As you exit the Temple of Light, because you're only in like the far end of the lobby where the desk is, the Archbishop is at, so it's a short walk. You haven't actually explored most of the temple yet. As you exit, you will see outside, not far from the front steps, I'm assuming. What are you up to outside the Temple of Light? Are you doing anything in particular when they come out?
I wrote a thing in the chat.
Oh, did you? I'm not looking at the chat, but I will do that now. I apologize. I was on the wrong tab.
What?
Oh, okay. Well, then, in that case, so that you know, you're welcome to do that. That is in the lower quarter, not far from the entrance. Whereas they're in the upper quarter. So you've already begun the walk. You're gone.
Okay.
All right. So y'all get out there, and White Imp is nowhere to be seen. Not knowing that he's supposed to be expecting anybody else, he continues on with y'all and begins walking the long walk to the murder's floor.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll switch over to White Imp real quick.
Oh.
It is, I'm trying to remember, it is morning at this point. So, because y'all slept through the day, then y'all went up there, or slept through the night and then went up there. So at this point, it's daytime. There's no issues walking through town. There are some people that give you the occasional look just because you're an elf, wild elf in the middle of the city, and that's not like disallowed or anything, just not super common. It's just about as odd as seeing basically anybody that's a ranger or someone who deals almost primarily in the woods or in the outlands to being in the city.
Yeah. I feel out of place too.
But other than that, like I said, there's no big encounters. While it is still icy and snowy, it is not a blizzard at the moment. You don't have to make any rolls. There'll only be occasional points where you might slip. But you actually are not that normally not sure-footed. You're not sure-footed. You are normally sure-footed, so this really isn't a problem for you.
Right.
As you get to the other side of town, you'll see the stables are intact. You'll see actually that same boy that took your goat to begin with will recognize you. You've only actually been here a day since you dropped the goat off, which is what you paid for, so he's happy to retrieve your goat.
Excellent. I give Rudel a big hug because I missed him and he was very much needed. He's a needed
as Rudel
guy.
comes trotting out, his head turns slowly, almost a 360, and begins to split open. And no, I'm just kidding. Rudel's fine.
Look.
Every time Rudel comes in, I'm going to do something different with him.
When for me,
and does a celebratory screech.
as Corey, as not like my character. My character loves goats and that kind of stuff. I think goat eyes are like unnatural, even though they're totally natural. They're like creepy. Those big rectangular.
Yeah, you wouldn't find those eyes in nature on something simple like a goat.
But they're creepy eyes. The goat eyes are just the worst eyes.
No, they're odd. I'm not going to argue that. They're super odd.
All right. I'll get on my goat.
Rudel's fine. He comes kind of like bouncing a little bit when he sees you. He's excited.
Excellent. I'll grab him and I'll head probably to the inn where everybody else is going to go and investigate first, and I'll see what happens from there. But yeah, this goat was needed several times in this town. Should never have left him.
Man, there are a lot of people that are hungry. Look at this goat going by. He's huge. It's a giant goat. Could be a dire goat.
A dire goat.
You think those eyes are creepy? What do you see, dire goat?
It's a pituitary problem.
All right. you guys will get to the murdered squirrel first because he went the other direction to the front gate to go get his goat. When you get there, nothing's really out of the ordinary. You do pass by the dwarven smithy that y'all had talked to before about the elf thief, and he's just hard at work hammering away. Their people are just going about their day. No one seems particularly freaked out about the incident last night. And you arrive at the murdered squirrel. If you'd like, I can pull open that particular map and put people on it if they would like to be. I think I can do that somehow.
We can work with that.
But
Yeah,
there we go. Okay, it should be up now. In theory. Ooh.
It's very black. I think you got the Fog of War stuff on.
Do I? I don't even know how that happened. I never touch it because I don't know how to work it. So it shouldn't be on.
Well, it definitely is.
Yes.
And here we go. Dynamic lighting. Let me know if you suddenly see stuff. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well.
Something happened?
Nope.
No,
Nothing
still
happened.
black?
Still black.
Good change.
Try the little eyeball on the left hand, the little eyeball icon on the left hand. Click that,
Okay.
click reveal areas, just try and drag it so we can drag boxes. Maybe that'll work.
You want me to drag the eyeball from the left?
No. You're just gonna
That's what you just said.
You're gonna click it and then you're gonna hover and then click reveal area and then just like click on the map and drag a little box and it'll reveal an area of that size. But that's how it works.
Nope, I don't know how to do it. Oh, I hate this stuff. This sucks so much.
Technology.
I don't even understand why it would be there when I specifically never used it.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
made a line.
It's totally black to me.
Well, fudge. I go through a lot of trouble to set these maps. I really do want y'all to be able to see stuff. You know what? I can still just go mind's eye theater it. I wasn't planning on attacking you right now, but now you kind of know that.
There's a couple of ways to turn off and on dynamic lighting. If you go to your page, you click the little gear icon, and there's a tab that says dynamic lighting, but also there's like a scroll menu. It's in the first scroll menu too.
All right, go to. Sorry, say that again.
Go to where you set up all your pages, and then click on the little gear icon next to that page in particular.
Yeah. There's been an update with dynamic lighting. It says so right there.
Yes,
That's what did it.
There should be a tab for dynamic lighting.
All right, off. Save.
We see
You
it.
see stuff?
Yeah,
Yay!
we
It's
got
off.
So it looks like the update turned it on.
it. There you go.
All right, but now you can see everything. I even drew in the downstairs. Now you can actually see it. It's a real thing. You don't have to sleep there anymore, but if you want to, you're already paid, and there it is.
All right, let's drag my character on here. There I am.
Okay, so everybody can see it now, right? We're all good?
Yes.
Yay. Okay. Well, that said, let me get back to my notes, and I can tell you what you see next. Oh, you have Vallanthia with you. That's what I'm forgetting. Aha, let me get him. He has a figure.
It's Balthazar Thornberry.
Thornhart. That's all right. He comes in and he'll actually draw his weapon and look around like he's ready to kill something. At which point you'll see his weapon is a crossbow, which, if any of you know anything about crossbows, it looks kind of unique. Like the handle for it is twisted weird, and it has a metal barrel underneath, like built into it, and the way you load it, you almost snap the bolts up from underneath, and it looks like it fires them.
I have a crafting specialization in smithing. Does that give me any context for that?
If you'd like to look at it using that, I can give you some information from your knowledge of smithing, as well as general crafting.
I crafted.
Oh, and it did re-roll your one or your 6, so you're good. All right. With that roll, you know a little bit about smithing things like the metalwork for more complex pieces, like a crossbow, for example. You haven't seen one designed like this, though. The trigger is actually turned sideways and held just underneath the pullback. But as you look at it, you realize the pullback. Let's see, with that roll, yeah, the pullback is there. It does do something, but whatever it releases, the arrow never touches that piece. There's something else there that's thrust forward when he fires, when he pulls trigger. Something else is thrust forward into the mechanism, which does something which you imagine will propel the arrow, but it doesn't make sense to you since you don't know what that box underneath there is.
So what's inside that box? There's some mechanism inside the
box. There's an
additional
mechanism to this crossbow that you know is foreign design. That is something that you're not familiar with.
Something.
What's in the box?
What is in the box? That's a good question. But yeah, whatever that is, piece. It's a custom piece. It's very advanced. It's definitely not dwarf make, or not. Oh wait, you're an elf. It's not elf make. Sorry, I don't know why I thought you were dwarf for half a second. It's not elven make. Beyond that, no, you don't really know a whole lot about it, except that whoever crafted it is used to working with small pieces. Beyond that, you'll see that there's etch work and all that's done into it too. So there's a lot of stylization going on there.
Okay. Well,
you also know as a mage that it was not crafted magically because it's metal.
I kind of as I'm kind of looking around the place and then look back over to him and notice the work, like craftsmanship of his crossbow. I'm assuming he'll at that point notice like this dude's been staring at me silently for like 10 seconds. This is weird.
You can try and get a streetwise roll on him to see if he's taking notice. He's a very stoic type. He doesn't really let his emotions show whether he notices you or not.
That's a good point. Okay. So probably I don't realize. So I still kind of awkwardly just kind of give him a smile, an approving smile of like, I'm kind of impressed. Whether he understands the context of why I'm doing that or anything like that is probably beyond me.
Oh, you also would have seen when he snapped the bolt in he had 3 boxes on a belt underneath his coat. And he particularly grabbed one box and opened it, and it looks like a standard crossbow bolt. You didn't see what was in the other boxes, but the boxes are of different makes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Got set up.
He is set up for something. He works for the Azure Order, which hunts supernatural things, including evil mages.
Yeah, I always imagined having a sword, but this guy's keeping it real with a crossbow.
Well, when you're fighting supernatural things, distance isn't the worst.
True. That's why I'm a mage, right? Like, good point. Damn good point. All right. So I just give him like an impressed look. I don't know if he understands that I'm like, oh yeah, nice crossbow, or if he's just like, oh, this guy's getting kind of creepy on me at this point. He's like smiling at me for no reason.
Yeah.
But
He'll look at you for a moment, then he just looks back into the room and starts walking in and just kind of looking left and right, really sizing the place up. Let's see, she isn't currently here, or at least she's not currently there, because it's the middle of the day. We don't really have bards and troubadours singing all day long. As for that, the dwarven owner is there. It is too early for his regulars to be there because they have jobs. So we'll throw them out in the street. Their jobs are loitering.
They're both lawyers?
Loitering.
Oh, loitering.
I just moved their tokens out into the street.
They look pretty buff for lawyers, man.
Law is a different kind of game around here. It's all by combat.
They're not cat enough to be lawyers, I gotta say.
All right. So that's about what you see right now. He's in there. It's between lunch and dinner. There's no rush. There should be one other guy in here. The roommate, the dwarven roommate of your barkeep guy is in here. And I don't know where his piece is, but I'll just use this guy to beat him today.
I'll walk up to that.
Don't you mean the shopkeeper?
Do what? The shopkeeper's there.
Okay, I meant the shopkeeper for the other store that we were investigating for.
The blacksmith, yeah, he had a roommate that hung out around here. He had a tenant that lived in a studio apartment built onto his own building, and that tenant spends all day and every day inside the Murdered Squirrel, and that's where he is right now.
I'll go up to the shopkeep or the barkeep, and I'll purchase an ale and let him know that we brought the Azure Order guy to kind of take over the investigation of what was going on to make sure that we can protect him and the establishment.
Oh, that's great. I look forward to seeing him do something. He's not going to throw my salt all over the floor.
Hopefully not.
I mean, what you did looked really impressive, I'll be honest. But at the same time, I didn't actually see the ghosts. I just saw y'all doing things. I know that one of you can control salt.
Yes, and he's quite proud of it, and I think he should be. It was quite a display. Had it have worked out a little bit more fluidly, perhaps it would have...
No, he can control salt water? Is that what you mean?
Sure.
It's condiment mancy.
Well, Trabella did tell me, though, that she said that you did something that helped her when she was attacked. So I believe you.
Of course. We're definitely wanting to make sure that this place is safe. I'm not sure exactly what he's going to do about it, but I'm definitely interested in looking.
He's actually as you're talking to the bartender, he's like standing maybe 5 feet, 6 feet behind you, just clearly listening and not really saying anything, being all stoic.
I still say it like I'm not sure how he plans on doing it, but have you seen his crossbow? The crossbow is real nice.
You know,
I mean that thing.
Oh, great! Maybe he'll shoot it.
I'm pretty sure that thing might be able to shoot a ghost. I don't know. I don't want to speculate, but it looks nice.
He'll actually step out up to the bar at that point and look over at you. Ghosts can be hurt by regular weaponry, just not as well.
I did not know that.
These bolts are blessed.
Oh, fanciful. That is amazing. Of course, you'd need them blessed. You're fighting all sorts of evil all day.
He'll extend the bolt towards you, but he has it like at an angle up so you can see it, not like it's like facing your face.
Yeah.
You know. And you'll see, sure enough, there is a symbol cut into it of the sun, which has almost like a triangle beneath it, which is supposed to depict the sun rays coming down, which is the symbol actually of the Church of Light. So you see it there. It's a triangle with a circle and like little like marks. There's supposed to be flames on the circle. It's a fairly simplistic symbol, but you see it's cut into the head of the bolt, very small. As to whether or not it's blessed or not, can't really see that.
Yeah. But I still look at it like, oh wow, this is very impressive. Is this something that's standard issue for Knights of the Azure Order? Is this something that you created yourself?
It was my idea, but I don't bless things. I have them blessed.
Well, quite an ingenious solution.
He looks around. He points the crossbow like it's just a stick to point with, and he points it over at the stage. So the singer was on that stage, which he points over to here, which is incorrect because she was back here. But it's a fair assumption, considering she was a singer.
I'll go ahead and point to where she actually was and go, no, she was over there.
The black elf, she's right. We thought that maybe it was just the stage that was cursed. It would appear to be wrong, but it was worth a try. So he'll go over here and start looking around.
Tom is gonna pipe up a little bit and say, "I found Bad Man upstairs."
At that, he will about face. Oh, that's good to know. And he will start upstairs. Can you show me where you saw him and what he was doing?
Yeah, so Tom will go ahead and go upstairs and point to the area where he saw him at. After I said I won't hurt him, he tried to run.
He walks over there. It is still dark back there, just because it's not lit up. And he looks over and goes, And what is your name?
Tom.
Tom. Would you step over here, Tom? And he points to an area very close to him.
So, around here, I assume?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
At which point, using your ambient light, he looks around.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot I glow in the dark. I'm like the perfect nightlight.
Bioluminescence.
There is. He looks around, and you see him he rubs his finger onto the table, and you see that the side of the table on this side is dusty, but it's not as dusty over here. This table's completely dusty. He's giving this place a thorough search, and it's clear that this upper area, you can almost just understand the investigation from his point of view as he walks around and focuses on things. He's pointing out that this area is obviously not in regular use. They're not normally using this for any additional seating, but the area where you're standing, the dust has been cleared. He reaches underneath the table and he pulls out a cushion. And he also finds there's a couple of dirty dishes that behind where the cushion was. It looks like this guy's been setting up back here and eating and sitting here, like somebody's just been hiding up here for long periods of time, long enough that just sitting on the floor would hurt your butt. So he's got a cushion. When he's done, he says, he looks at you and just gives you a nod, and you figure that's about as close to a thank you as you're going to get. And he walks off.
Tom somewhat kind of understands the gesture, but he just kind of follows along. He thinks that's okay, I'm done here. Follow me. I'm like, all right. So Tom will just go ahead and walk on and sort of say he jumped over a balcony or he jumped over and tried to run to the door.
He'll look that whole area over. There's nothing for me to roll for really to see that would be leftovers. No clue that I can think of that you pick up on. So, and the other way, I didn't really roll his other investigation because he already would have gotten a bonus from you telling him that the guy was there, and what he saw was pretty rudimentary.
Okay.
So he looks around, and then finally he'll look over, and based on who's done most of the talking so far, he's going to look at Erda, say, so where was our Azure Order friend holding the prisoner when he was attacked?
This way. I'll get up from the bar, and I'll kind of look at the shopkeep, make sure he's okay with me taking him downstairs,
He gives you a nod, basically. It's fine. He wants the Azure Order to investigate, and if you can't solve the problem and they can, fine.
Yeah. So I'll walk over to the doorway and open it up.
Okay. So you go over here, you open the door, and then you all are in the spiral staircase going down over to here.
Okay, and I'll follow along too.
Okay. It was this room. If y'all don't remember, I don't know if you do or not.
This is where we were rooming, or this is
the room where you were rooming together. This is the room where the guy had his prisoner.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's actually in that room, but y'all don't know, and she didn't know that you're out there, so she's not saying hi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'll bring him over to this room, and I'll say, originally we kept him in the room at the end of the hall, but this was the room where the Azure or the Crimson Order held the prisoner until the morning. This is where we found him incapacitated.
All right. He's going to start by looking over. He opens the door. Actually, let's see. It actually would be locked. He tries the door and goes, "One moment." And he will go upstairs and get the key and then return. All right. So he comes back with the key, tries the door, goes in, look around.
Man, this guy has some great stats.
Well, he is an investigator. It's literally his thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like his main thing that he does.
I'll come in and provide a little bit of bioluminescence to light up the area.
This is his yob.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, he looks around the room. He runs his hands across the floor like he's feeling things and smells things. And let's see. I'm trying to remember. Did y'all leave the candles and stuff, or did you pick all that up?
I don't remember if anyone picked up the candles because I have my own candles. I don't think I picked up any candles. I don't
remember anybody saying they picked up anything really. So
yeah,
okay.
I remember them being.
Yeah, I think we left the crime scene as it was.
Yeah.
At least fairly close to.
All right. He also is going to check the beds. And he goes through all of it.
I'll also point out things that I had noticed on our initial search through.
Okay. He takes careful notice because we are assuming they're still there, and I'm going to move forward with that assumption from this point on that they are there, unless anybody added mostly burnt out candles to their inventory. Nope. One was red and one was black, and he picks up the candles and he studies them for a moment, and he puts them into a sack on his belt, on the other side from the bolts. Actually, he takes them and he smells each one first and he rubs them, and then he does that. He will look around. He's looking at the floor. Did you notice the etchings in the floor? Because I know it's in my notes that they're there. I couldn't remember if you saw them.
Here's what I will point out to him. I noticed the etchings. I noticed the knife similar to what the doll used. 3 candles red and 3 candles black. Either spent in the ritual or designed to be small. They were not created with normal wax. They have been mixed with something in addition to it. Ritual was either complex or used many things to ease the casting, since the caster was potentially still injured severely, and there were etchings on the floor. I don't remember. I didn't write down what shape. I just wrote that there were. Oh, hold on. Maybe I did write it down in the actual letter, because I gave an affidavit that I wrote in Elvish that none of them.
I do remember that.
None of them could read, but I can't read Valerian either. So
no, you didn't write it in Elvish. You wrote it in that other language.
In Elysian. That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah, you wrote it in the angel language.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good times.
Exactly.
All right. So as you're going through that, you mentioned the candles had something in them, and he's sniffing the candles. He'll look at you and go, "This is called a blood candle." And he holds up the red one. And he hands it to you. to if you'd like to inspect it.
Oh, I do. Yeah, hell yeah, I'll inspect it.
All right, you give that candle a good sniff.
Yeah.
There's a coppery scent to it. There is blood in that wax.
Dip my finger in the wax and
Yep.
A positive. Yep.
This was a white man, aged 34 years. Good. He had a bad back.
Yeah.
What?
He had one bad kidney, but the other one was still functional.
All right. And the other one, he goes, "This is a soul candle. I'd be impressed if you can taste that."
Soul candle and blood candle.
Well, we know our necromancer friend knew what he was doing. Or at least he had access to someone who knew what they were doing, because these are not easy to make. And he will take the candles and put them away unless you try to keep it, in which case you're going to get a very stern look.
Yeah. No. I'm not going
to. No. Necromancy candles are mine now.
Oh, no, those aren't. I'm sorry. I think I left these here on accident.
Oh, this is your blood candle, soul candle? Are you sure that's what you want to say?
They're actually replicas. And
I got them from Bed Bath and Dungeon. And
exactly. They are extraordinarily good smelling. I'll just put it that way. Have you never wanted to wake up in the morning smelling a little bit of hint of copper and bacterial sweat? Come on.
Did you sniff the soul candle just out of curiosity?
Did I smell it?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, I smell both of them.
It has a weird, like, I want to say rotten smell, but not so much like bad eggs, but more of closer to like a sea, like how sea foam has a certain smell to it. There's like like a weird rotten stink to the ocean for some reason.
Yeah.
I, as a human, have never looked up why, but as the game master, I have theories.
I have theories.
But yeah, there's a weird stink to it that does remind you of decay. It is just, it's not as powerful like a sulfurous smell that makes you just go, oh. It's more of a subtle thing that if it were in the room with you, you wouldn't notice it at first. But after a while, you'd be like, I feel ill.
Yeah,
Does
exactly.
Does feel ill?
It's like lingering and oppressive smell.
Right. Okay. So yeah, that's that candle, and it is bad. He looks around at y'all and says, by the way, White Ape, have you can have joined at this point. I forgot to actually tell you. You haven't actually asked me, or if you did in like a private thing, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
White
I
Ape?
was wondering when I was going to arrive. I was waiting for that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you can have
White
walked
Ape
up.
silently, just kind of followed everyone, and then everyone just notices him.
Well, he didn't follow. He came from another direction, but you could have walked up at any time. If you'd like to be in the scene, just put yourself in it. If not, it's interesting to me to know if you're there.
Sure. Where is everybody? In the basement?
If you don't guess it on your own, the dwarf proprietor will point to
I
it.
assume Esri also followed us too, right?
Yeah, is my character not on the map?
Yeah, it's not on the map.
Oh, okay, let me get her.
I don't see her.
All right, let me get
I'll
her.
come down the stairs. I'll see Erda in the hall. Hello.
Oh,
Hi.
White Ape. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Where's
Where's what?
Rudel?
He's outside. I got him.
Oh, okay, good.
There are hitching posts in random places. There's not a lot. Most people don't ride any regular steeds through town, but some steeds are needed. Mostly to get wagons in here for the vendors who are selling things. So there are some hitching posts. You can have hitched them out front.
Excellent.
Or her. I really don't know the gender.
This looks like a hitching post, like right here.
Yeah, it does. Go with that. It sounds good.
How's
the idea of like a bunch of knights rolling up and their horses being like hitched, and then he comes up with the goat and then hitches the goat next to all the big ass horses.
While the roads here are kind of gravel, through the main parts of town and through the better parts of town, they're actually very fine cobblestone. And the more heavy traffic, like horses and stuff over it, the more often it has to be replaced.
That's fair.
Anyway, all right, so y'all are here. And I will turn him around because he's talking to you.
I'll kind of wave White Ape over. Oh, come on. You can help us with the investigation.
Okay. You got somebody, I hope, competent?
Yeah. Of course. He's very competent. He's a competent kind of guy. As I step over to the side to let you get into the doorway.
All right, so...
Oh, yes, I remember this chap.
He looks you over, kind of like steely-eyed, but he doesn't say anything at the moment.
Crossbow.
He's the guy I asked his name, and he never said it.
And he looks at you, and he continues to not say it. So from what I've seen in here, it looks like someone has mopped up, but just the area that we were looking at around this bed and around, and he points again at where the etchings on the floor are. It looks like somebody has cleaned it, which, because there's spilled blood everywhere, and you went sucked it all up to the air and did your thing.
Yeah.
It kind of de facto cleaned the area. But there's no just regular, non-magical investigation roll unless you expected something like that. They would let you know, oh, well, it wasn't mopped. It was, no.
Yeah.
But he did notice. He just doesn't know that you did it or that it was blood. He said, I don't see much of the signs of the struggle from where Harold was hurt. I do see where this went on. It looks like you may have created a portal to the. Yeah, he looks like he's like deep in thought. If it's possible, it looks like you may have tried a portal into the realm where the ghosts naturally are.
Yes.
That's that is what the etchings say, or what the symbology on there meant.
Yes, he's trying to escape.
Well, to do that would take a lot of power, like a very talented necromancer, or a necromancer who had the right equipment to boost his skills, and he indicates his bag where he just put those candles. He apparently had. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say
sorry, go ahead was from the GM, by the way, not him. He's not sorry.
We came up with the idea of perhaps waiting a few days before leaving this building, just in case he came back to haunt or seek vengeance from any of us. I assume he is trying to find shelter, find some place to lick his wounds and recuperate his pride until he's ready to strike again. And perhaps he is in confederation with other like-minded individuals. This is not the first one that we have seen in this town so far.
He's gonna get a read on you because you're the one talking. To try and see just how
worrisome,
how honest you're being. This is still Acumen. It's his Acumen Street. It's one less. I don't have that spec for this. However,
yeah.
Sometimes you're just awesome, and right now I'm feeling pretty awesome, so I get to roll again. These are some godly rolls. Yay! All right.
36. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like I could raise the dead with this.
Literally. Yeah.
I investigate you so hard, you remember your own past better.
Oh God. Oh God.
Ezra's actually going to look at him and go, do you have any knowledge about any way that maybe we could track him or find him?
At this point, I don't know that we could track him through a portal into a different dimension. That would be quite the task.
He's
No,
untraceable?
no, I've seen this before. It's more like imagine your body is just temporarily ghost-like. Ethereal is the right word. Then when the time passes and the effect wears off, whatever spell has been cast, your body would reassemble itself to normal.
So is there a trail or any way to track him?
No easier than tracking a ghost. Unfortunately, he could have walked right through the wall and then turned back into a person, or he might have had it on for a while. I don't know how long he had it on for.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And I do not sense anything.
But he's not the first necromancer I've come across that has tried this. And I saw it once. It's disconcerting.
Indeed.
You're not wrong. There is, I don't know if it's a cabal, but there has been other necromantic activity. The overrated gauntlet, and he looks at all of you, but most pointedly at Whitey, because after you bamboozled him, he had to redo his investigation, which he did without your interference, and he did much better.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
At the overrated gauntlet, there was a woman I believe you all know about. And he looks, like I said, pointedly at White Ape because he was the one who did the most talking back at that scene. And she came across a book that her husband had previously come across that was given to him by a mysterious benefactor. I'm guessing that are, I'm going to say the loser of a necromancer that's doing this job. If I heard correctly, he's cursing these women because they weren't into him. That's not it. That doesn't give you necromantic power. Somebody, I think, is noticing people that have issues and is offering necromancy as a solve.
Could be some kind of coordinated plot to sow chaos, especially if these people are amateurs or rank novices at best. They are going to do far more harm than.
Well, if he is a novice, that explains what he sounds like he is, except for this very powerful spell he cast. But he had the tools to do it. That implies that he could be a novice with help. It sounds more right to me than that he is a necromancer of some incredible ability, sitting in the worst bar in the city, trying to hit on women, when he could easily just go buy a nice set of clothes, show off that he's rich, and get any woman he wanted. No offense to you. He looks at the woman in the room. But there are plenty of women out there that if they know you have power, they will happily throw themselves at you. This seems unnecessary to most if he's that kind of powerful. I think that you're right. Someone is helping.
They have to have some kind of guidance, some kind of mentor directing them to do this. Now, who that person is, I don't know this town well enough to give you that kind of insight.
I don't know who it is either, but I can tell you I can tell you about the last one that I caught before the overrated gauntlet. And I didn't track down the woman, and I have y'all to thank for that. And
can I ask you a question? How does one join the Azure Order? How does one become you?
You join the Azure Order by going to the Temple of Light and offering yourself. So speaking with the Archbishop Cordry right now, or one of his lieutenants, that is your goal.
I'm just interested in knowing how someone like you came to such a career path.
I don't think I know you well enough to tell you what interested me into hunting the supernatural and hunting these evil magic workers.
Erda, I don't think you're Azure Order material.
Perhaps not, but
No, we
They're
don't.
still
We don't. They don't. They're not prejudiced against elves.
I am not the most resolute of people, nor am I as physically fit as someone. I point to him. But perhaps my insight and keen mind could be of some use, even as just an outside consultant.
It's possible.
I
Looks
do
like you're
know a lot
doing that
about
now.
magic.
You're doing that now. You're helping. If it is really your goal to join, it could happen. Unless somebody at this point goes, well, he's a necromancer.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I'm sure is what White Ape was alluding to, but I don't think I would know that. I feel like I should have street checked him, but that felt a little meta, although this guy is the type that would have. I'm going to let it go.
Yeah, I tried to cover for that by being like, "Oh yeah, he thinks I'm too nerdy. I'm just like too weak of constitution." Um, I feel bad for the gentleman who took the brunt of this man's assault. This Rylan left the Crimson Order man in quite bad shape.
I heard he was going to be fine.
I think he's going to make a full recovery. But I was
Apparently
worried.
he was knocked out. He looks around and goes, apparently he was a clean knockout. There's no blood. Perhaps the ghost knocked him out. They have weird powers. I
That is
don't know
true.
all of them.
Who could?
And there is 0 blood on the scene. 0.
Gee, can't imagine why.
So strange, yes. So we should probably figure out a way to draw this man, either this man out of his rest, wherever he's trying to recuperate, or we need to hunt down whoever the man is who is giving out the literature. If we're going to stop the chaos before it bubbles over. that is.
Urda, can I talk to you for a moment?
Sure.
I'd take you off to the side over by the stairs. You know,
Watch as y'all go.
we're not hired at all for this necromancer nonsense, right? They want some place to stay for free if they solve the problem of the curse, and that happened. They did that.
Oh yeah. Well.
And unless the guy comes back, they have a place to stay. And if he comes back, we can deal with the problem. We're here. What our job is to figure out who stole from the dwarf.
Oh.
Remember that?
Right.
And we get paid for that, so I can pay tuition
Of course.
for the
You
for
see,
the
I just-
elemental college.
It's just such a fascinating case. I guess I'm having difficulty putting my mind aside of it.
Cordray did say that there is rewards, of course, for this. Although White Ape may not have been in the room.
I was not. No.
That's true. You do remember that they offered us money.
Yeah, but we didn't have the guy, and I don't think we're gonna get the guy because he can turn into a freaking ghost. So I'm like, this we're at a brick wall for me. Like, also, I'm not good at ghosts. I throw rocks.
He's got a point.
Yeah. I go. I guess it was just a passing fancy. Being so close to such a interesting investigation is just rather compelling for someone of my.
I get it. I understand. I'm curious too of who's giving people necromancy books. Maybe that's the guy that was giving people necromancy books. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's not what I came here to. Like, I had a plan, and I feel like I'm moving in a different direction than everybody else, and that's concerning to me.
I feel like I understand what you mean. Life does kind of give us some turbulence from time to time, and we don't know exactly what direction life will take us into next. Perhaps this is an opportunity to explore that possibility space. But I know that you have a plan that we need to get onward with, so we can make our departure at any point if you would like, and we
No.
can go and investigate for the.
No. I'm just saying, when we talk to this as your order guy, because we still need to like finish all of this here to whatever conclusion it's coming to. I just don't want us to. I don't want to overextend ourselves at all, or overpromise,
Yes.
because we already have obligations, especially me.
You are, of course, right. I simply got carried away with my intellectual curiosity.
All right, great. I just wanted to talk about it. We can go back, talk to him. Let's go.
Okay. I skip on back. Hippity hop.
Everything all right?
I think so.
I nod.
He was just reminding me about all the other commitments we have so far.
That had to be done in private?
I don't think so. I think he was just trying to be polite.
Yeah, I don't want to concern you with, like, you got an entire investigation. If you want to know about my commitments, if you think that's important to the investigation, I'll definitely tell you about them. But I didn't want to.
Oh, I'm on the clock. I'm doing my job. I'm talking with Erda, who I was assigned to work with, and you have pulled Erda away. The middle of that to talk about something that sounds like it might not have been all that important to rush off. I'm just saying that if we could just move things along.
Of course. My apologies.
Anyway, so I was going to say that before the overrated gauntlet, there was another necromancer issue that also felt strange to me. I seem to have resolved the case. The necromancer in question was captured by other members of the Azure Order and died during struggle, is my understanding. I was not there, did not witness it. I only have their reports. But there was something odd about that one too. Apparently he was using an interesting trinket to do his necromancy. Something that had empowered him. Are you familiar with wizards using wands that enhance their natural abilities with magic?
Yes, I have heard of this thing. Yeah.
Well, this one was specifically attuned to necromantic magic and gave him a huge boost. So what we have is very powerful necromancers that are also at the same time novice necromancers. And this looks like, if you count both the woman from the other night and as well as her husband, this will be our fourth for this boy with this man-child with the issue with the women.
That is very concerning, and I think about how large the city is. About how big is the city?
You would. I mean, you really haven't explored all of it, but it is very large. I mean, it takes a couple hours to walk. It takes at least an hour just to get to the upper quarter to go to the church, for example. If you were to walk the perimeter, probably about 3 or 4 hour walk.
Okay, so it is a pretty large place.
Yeah, it's very large for a medieval city. It's absolutely huge.
Yeah. So given that there's a lot of people here, but even then, 4 necromancers in a population this large, a pretty large amount. There's definitely a concentration here. There's something
right. That's or something that is outlawed. So even if it exists, they're going to do their best to normally hide it.
Yeah, exactly.
If there are 4 that you see, maybe it's like roaches. You know, for everyone you see, there's 200 more in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
That was what an old Raid commercial told me, and I'm pretty sure it's 100% accurate. They weren't just trying to sell Raid.
Exactly. They're science people, right?
Do you know how wands and other magical artifacts are created?
I do.
I don't know much about their creation, but I've seen enough of them to know about them.
What is how do you do that, Erda? Is it like
There is a way to imbue an item with the the manipulations of mana, the let's just say the outline for how mana needs to line up in order for a particular type of effect to happen, and you can print that channel inside of an item in order to ease the flow of mana from caster into product.
I can't imagine that this would be something that could be done cheaply or without a lot of resources.
It would take a lot of time and energy and knowledge, quite honestly.
So I'm a necromancer wanting to give people
And
necromantic
they don't
magic.
tend to be permanent. These things tend to be single use items. The only magical items I have ever encountered that were able to permanently hold a magical charge have been the keemstones that I used to work with when I was an archivist with the Mystic Elves.
So what you're saying is that some guy has mystic, like necromantic artifacts that are really expensive, and he just gives them out to people for kicks.
Yes.
That doesn't sound right to me. But what do I know? I just live up in the mountains.
Sure. It is very disturbing information. Yes, necromancy trinkets. There, somebody is mass producing these effective. I look over to the your older guy. You should definitely look into this more in detail. This is terrible information. I look panicked and walk around in a circle for a minute, and then like pacing while he's talking.
Well, I am looking into it. We can't interview the gentleman that is deceased, of course. The woman is on the run. Her husband is also deceased. And now this guy is on the run. Fortunately, it's hard to find out who's supplying them. We can't ever talk to any of them.
That is
It'd mean
true.
a lot to me if we can catch just one and ask questions.
Well, we do plan on staying here, or part of our group plans on staying here for some time while we are in the city. If this creep comes back, we will likely come back here. We will likely be people to encounter him again.
Did anybody ever think, instead of like finding one of these guys and questioning him? I mean, that seems like the easiest way, but how does this guy find these people? Like, can you be a client?
Oh.
If you wish to talk to some magical underworld to find out how you can become a necromancer to try and go undercover, because that's not something I can do. They all know who I am. But if y'all would like to, have fun. Don't die.
Seems like a very dangerous thing to attempt, but I could be open to it if
I think this
there
is
were
a great.
reward for such a discovery. If I could uproot the necromancers here in the city, would there be some kind of
Reward? Yes.
would there be any kind of protection I could utilize toward rooting these people out? Any
Well, I couldn't accompany you while you're going undercover.
no, of course not.
I think
But-
I'd be willing to go undercover with you, Erda.
I think it's more like a bit of amnesty if they're caught being a necromancer, and
Well, of course, I already know what's going on. I would put it in my reports.
I think this is a very intriguing idea and one that might just work.
If you
I'll
wish
go
to
with
go
you and
that
watch your
route,
back.
in the asylum, there is a practitioner of a different demonic art that might know more.
The
What kind of
asylum?
art?
Wait, there's an asylum?
Dark
Isn't
magic?
that where you lock up like crazy people?
That is.
Or dangerous people.
What kind of dark art does this person practice?
Dark magic.
Well, obviously. He uses a form of runic magic.
Runic magic.
Why would he cooperate with us, though?
That is up to whatever. You would have to find a way to become his friend. He's seen my face. I've already questioned him several times.
I might be able to get him on my side.
So perhaps we would go undercover in the asylum to speak to him?
That would be something we could arrange. Maybe some of you could be employees, some of you could be inmates.
Certainly. I think this is a great idea. I would be willing to.
He looks over at Tom and says, or maybe you can just grow on the wall?
And Tom just
Apologies,
kind of like cocks his head.
I'm not real sure what your capabilities are.
I build. He
You
responds.
build things. Interesting.
Carpenter.
He makes things out of mushrooms he grows.
Sample? like he holds up like a pod.
I'm on duty. I cannot be eating mushrooms right now.
Tom kind of like cocks his head. Oh, tool.
No. He doesn't eat them.
Mushroom hammer.
He held forth a mushroom and said, "Sample." I did not see a tool. I saw a mushroom.
Go mushroom hammer. Go mushroom spear.
No, he's like, no. It's not a snack. You see, you peel this part open and it becomes binoculars.
Go
like
mushroom music
Fat
box.
mushrooms like covering your eyes. You can't even see through it. It's just mushroom. Like perfect binoculars.
No, you would put it up to your eyes, and then at the other end, eye buds would open.
Oh, they even have X-ray capability too.
And then you can like extend around corners. And
Mushroom periscope.
Terrible.
I could even see the stars. Ooh.
of course, for it to send the information to your head, it has to grow into your ocular cavity around your actual eyeballs.
Yeah, so it's like
Very
those
comfortable.
illithid. What are the little illithid things that go inside the eye?
Oh,
Like
it's their babies. They pull out of the
Yeah, they blow the
spawning
pod.
pool. Yeah.
So basically, you stick them on and you become a snail. Like,
Basically, I'm not saying you can't make those, Tom. I'm just saying if you do, you're going to gross everyone out. I'm personally for it. I'm also for this idea that everybody goes to the asylum undercover. Y'all pick your new personas. We'll go get the paperwork started.
Well, as you recall, my character is looking for a connection to the underworld. So,
Well, if this guy is indeed a practitioner of dark arts that he learned somewhere, maybe he knows some folk. Then
That is true.
talk
I'm
about
willing to go talk to him.
This would
I
be
mean-
the worst side of the underworld. We're not talking just mafia. We're talking, demon summoning underworld.
I mean,
Well,
this is the best way for the underworld. I mean, you come to a new city and you become a cop, and then in time, a dirty cop.
Yeah. And then in time, you run the dirty cops.
yeah.
Then you oust all of them.
Sir
Redeem
Pico.
yourself.
Sir Pico.
And,
wait. Attica?
I would escort
Attica.
you to go see the asylum now, but if you're going to go there undercover, perhaps you would rather just come up with your new personas or your idea of what you intend to do there first. The direction he gives you directions to the asylum, and he tells you that near there is a actually not kind of a moderate bar, not upscale, but not bad, called the Vallanthian. And he looks at all of you and goes, in case you can't, it looks like the symbol of the crest for Vallanthia inside the symbol of an N.
Mm.
And you'll see that on the plaque outside, the waving sign thing.
Does the building need repairs? Like Tom asks about the asylum.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if it does or doesn't. We can order it to be repaired or to be checked and to have work done. Whether or not that work is important is not of consequence. If that is something you can do,
yes.
maybe one of your friends can partner with you. So if you go in there by yourself claiming that that's what you're there for, they're going to have more questions. But if
I'm pretty sure Whitey
at least an elf with you, that'll help.
I can be a contractor, I guess.
My biggest concern is if we want to go undercover and have this guy trust us, probably at least one of us should pose as an inmate. And if we pose as an inmate, we have to make sure somebody knows that we're not supposed to be there so that we can get out again.
I'm right here.
Oh, Sealy, I was going to say that, but I was like, my character's too naive. He literally has the cultural unfamiliarity. So he's like, every time there's some opportunity for me to like spill the beans on something or be naive about it, I'm just trying to do that. So he was going to be like,
my character's like, I'm not going in unless I know I'm coming back out again.
He was going to be like, yeah, I'm totally into being an inmate. And then I was going to say, flash forward to like 2 games from now. And Howard's like, okay. And Terry's character can never get out of the asylum because now they believe legitimately that he is insane.
The doctors are strapping him down to the chair and administering the drugs.
No, you don't understand.
You need to make sure somebody in charge.
They're trying to.
Somebody in charge knows we're not supposed to be there.
They're trying to increase the mercury dosage.
There are necromancers who have infiltrated your asylum, and I'm just trying to go through and find out who they are, and that way I could rat them out to the police, who also might be inside with other necromancers, but that's a whole nother story. But trust me, I'm undercover. I'm not actually crazy. I know I'm here because I'm crazy.
Supposed to be here.
I know you guys think I'm a paranoid, delusional person, but really, there's reason to be paranoid and delusional right now.
One doctor says to the other, off to the side, increases mercury dosage by 20%.
Exactly. Howard's just like,
Drag
okay,
him off
and
to the rubber room.
that's where Tarek's going to need to make a new character.
At this point, you hear, it sounds like a heated discussion coming from upstairs. In Elven, which means 3 of you understand it. One voice is definitely Twinkle's. The other voice is speaking in Elven, but also the Losifar accent. As each of you are elves, but you all come from way different areas and you have your own accents.
Yeah,
it's definitely Twinkle's talking to another shining elf up there.
Oh.
And since 3 of you understand it, it's kind of muffled because it's upstairs. But essentially, it sounds like you get the impression that she is yelling like, I don't want to go. I'm my own person, something like that. And it's like, yo, you will do what I say, young lady type back and forth.
Oh, shoot. I run up the stairs.
Yeah, I start heading up the stairs too.
Me too.
Well, Twinkle is a friend, so Tom is a little concerned or an acquaintance, so he's concerned and just walks up the stairs.
I say, hey, what are you doing to my friend Twinkle? I get real mad as I run up and confront who's ever talking to the person who's probably his
The goat like kicks in the door. Ah!
It's probably her father or something.
Battle time. No.
Probably her father, yes.
Twinkle's like, wait, no. This is just it's my uncle.
Don't beat up my uncle.
And then he sees all of you and he like becomes more reserved. Like he just realizes he's in public and people are staring and he just, it's like his whole demeanor changes and he becomes a much more prim and proper person in front of you. His arms just naturally seem to fold, and he looks at all of you. We're having a family discussion. None of this is your concern. Now, Twinkle, you cannot be here. You will actually didn't call her Twinkle. He calls her something else. I don't have his character open, but I'm sure it's in there somewhere. It's an actual name.
Right, because Twinkle was her nickname.
It was his sobriquet, like his or not sobriquet, but a nom de plume.
Well, he actually said that it's something his whole family calls him. Soul Mistborn. His family does call him Twinkle, but in public, if you wouldn't, Hughes, you wouldn't call your grandma Gam Gam. You might be more likely, if you're a proper person, to say my grandmother.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
It's sort of like that. So he says, it's between Miss Mistborn and I, the current circumstances of her behavior. She will be coming with me. He doesn't even ask. He says, she will be coming with me. And she's like, I will not. And he looks at her and he leans down and he whispers something in her ear. And she looks kind of like defeated. Fine. Bye, guys. It's been fun. Nice meeting you.
Oh, Twinkle, are you going to be okay? Do you need some help?
Blink once if he's not your uncle.
I wish that were true.
Well,
I tried.
We'll write you letters. Where do we send them?
Actually, we have a manor in the upper quarter, and he will give you the cross streets to the manor.
Oh, well, you're not going far then. That's great. We'll see you sometime soon.
Maybe.
He's like, please don't come by the estate.
Right.
I don't need rabble rouses about.
All right.
I'm not a
Tom
rouser.
hands off a Mycelian pod to Twinkle as an apology for the foolish pot that he
It's a bunch of
exploded.
It's a bunch of
She
people.
takes it and she actually does bring a smile to her face. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bunch of people in the worst bar in the city. We're definitely rabble.
Valthier walks out behind you and as you say that says, not necessarily.
Not necessarily what.
Hey, I don't stay here either.
Speaking of, the floors at the temple are quite stiff.
But they don't smell. And they're quite comfortable. I don't know what you're talking about.
Valthier looks over the group and says, I will meet you at the Vallanthian then. And say 3
yes,
hours.
Okay.
Sure.
Great.
He continues on his way.
I gotta go to the
He
Earth
did
Temple.
say 3 hours. If you want to change that timeline, now catch him before he leaves. If you're like, nah, let's start this one tomorrow. I want to do a thing.
I have a question. When do my classes start? When am I supposed to be at the Earth Temple? What's like my schedule?
You haven't really defined any of that yet with the masters there. In fact, you've only met one master, but he's still a grand master. But he didn't exactly hand you a syllabus, so
Exactly. I was just wondering if we discussed that, and it was just not. I don't remember.
It's more like when you go there and you are ready to start your training. They've already agreed to train you. When you show up and say I'm ready to begin, they're going to be like, all right, we're going to expect you to do this. You're going to be here for at least this long. This is what we're going to want you to do. But until then, until you're ready to actually go and start, it's going to seriously affect your adventuring. But as long as you're adventuring here in the city, y'all are good to go. And I can totally run city adventures if that's the plan.
Okay, excellent. Certainly.
I go very sandbox. If y'all tie yourselves to a city, then I run city adventures.
Okay, that sounds great. I just want to know the plan. Yeah, I'm gonna take Rudel to the temple. Like my job, what I'm gonna do right now is take Rudel to the temple, stable him there, or find a situation where the stable is a stable that's very close to there.
He gets
Um,
pinched between two rocks and floated off somewhere. No.
What are you talking about? It's a giant floating mountain that no one sees that's floating above the temple that Rudel is now like living on.
Eating cans that are floating up there.
So
Yeah, by the time we leave the city, like he's already had a family of his own, and you take one of the kids as your next mount.
yeah, I'm gonna tell everybody. I'm gonna go back to the Earth Temple. I don't think it should take more than 3 hours for me to figure out my situation there and meet you.
Okay.
And
You
then
want me to come with you?
Huh? Of course you can. Erda, what are you talking about? Of course you can.
Okay.
But are we all figured out what we're going to do? I'm going to be a contractor with Talm. And then you
I still think an inmate is the best way to get close to this guy, get him to trust us. I don't want to be stuck in there.
I think
I'll totally get an inmate position.
Erda. I think Erda. Okay. I think Erda should be in the cell next to him, maybe, and then Ezri should be a guard.
Why would he trust a guard?
Or
you mean so I can watch Erda's back?
yeah, so you could let Erda out, or if like the people that do stuff in the asylum are like do stuff to Erda, you could stop them.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I don't want people doing a bunch of weird stuff to me.
I've read a book about an asylum once. It was scary.
Well, I mean, I've never been to one before, but I'm sure it's not that bad.
It was a really scary book.
Oh.
I had
game
nightmares.
sessions later, I regret this decision.
Well,
Yeah, you see me like stare off into the corner like, oh shit, did I just do the wrong thing?
My matron told me not to read it, and I stole it, and I read it anyways.
well, don't worry, Erda. My culture, we all grew up learning how to fight and keep order. We're all soldiers. I can protect you.
All right,
Oh,
good, great.
That's very good to know. I am probably not going to be allowed to hurt people in there, so if somebody comes after, I don't even know how I would defend myself.
You know, being an earth mage, I'm probably going to be really good at like being a building contractor.
Yeah, that's a good point. And there's a lot of people in the city who know about the earth.
Tom, if I say something wrong, you got to correct me like instantly. I don't know how to build, Tom.
I can help. Vallanthian is not my main language.
So I can talk Vallanthian quite well, and you can tell me how to build. Or if I'm saying the wrong words for building.
I can instruct.
Excellent. What's like a good building word I should know?
Buttress.
He's going to take like a pod on a long stalk and extend it over like up your clothing, and it'll just sit next to your ear, and he'll just whisper things through the pod.
There's a
long mushroom.
There's a
Innovative.
There's a lot of great building words, like plum. I love that word. Plum.
Yeah. There are
So
some great
basically-
words in architecture and design.
Are we going to have a couple hours to kill? We're waiting for them to get back.
Well, I wanted to give y'all a chance to plan, and then you're going to go. Then I know that Corey wants to have a scene real quick at the Earth Temple. Did Tom or Ezra want to go anywhere? I know Erda's going with White Ape.
I was just going to tell you what my character's doing in the downtime.
All right, cool.
I think Tom would probably try to see if he could like talk with like any like carpenters around the area and maybe learn a few of the words or parts of the language that they use when talking with clients. Where would be a good place for Tom to go?
Well,
or who would he ask?
there are people that do woodworking and stuff in multiple levels of the city. So yeah, you can find there's going to be a place nearby. in this quarter that's just going to be a dwarf and a human sitting around, just talking crap and drinking beer, waiting for someone to order them to come and fix something or
like
put some
day
stairs
laborers?
in, that type of thing. Yeah, basically. But if you want to go talk to like a more eminent architect,
those two?
no, the guys from the bar are miners. But if you want to go talk to like an eminent architect in the city, you're gonna have to go somewhere a little bit nicer.
Mm. Okay.
So Howard, while I'm waiting, I'm going to go back to those Vallanthian books and go back to trying to teach myself how to read Vallanthian again.
All right.
Do I get to roll again?
Yeah, go ahead and make your roll. It's intellect based.
I totally want to do.
Can I roll Scholar?
Yeah, you can use Scholar.
Because I have that as a skill.
Whenever y'all are making any roll, if you have a skill that you think should apply, ask me.
I totally want to do the same thing, but I know I'm going with Corey. I just plan on doing that while he's studying. Or doing whatever.
She's going to, a lot of what Corey's doing is going to, or what I should say, White Ape is doing is going to be walking. You can't really walk and study at the same time.
Yeah, I know. For sure.
So,
yeah.
but she'll have the time because she's not actually doing another thing to sit down and just study, which is fine.
Yeah.
Did you make the roll? I don't see it here.
She froze, though.
I froze?
No, she did. You don't see her camera froze?
Well, no, because I was looking at the Roll20 screen.
Oh,
now that you said that, I am looking and I see that she has frozen.
He's not
I didn't know if anybody else saw it. I just
he's not like me and you, Tarek, where we have like multiple screens. Oh, that's lovely.
Oh no, Sarah died.
All right, so then we'll go to Tom. Tom, you head off to the. It's not necessarily the fanciest upper quadrant, but there's the upper mid-level tier. You can ask around. You'll hear two things. Actually, go ahead and make a streetwise check to find out what you want. Then
let's do that.
Rather than I just arbitrarily decide what you might and might not discover, we'll let the dice arbitrarily decide.
So I assume streetwise would be under charisma or acumen. Okay.
Apologies to
I
anybody.
don't have streetwise, but I will just do a acumen roll.
That's correct.
Apologies to anybody watching the stream. Yeah, without Sarah in the Zoom call, everything's going to look a little wacky for a moment until she gets back into Zoom. So just bear with us, bear with the weirdness, and we'll get back to it as soon as we can.
You're reaching into other boxes. I'm going to try and tickle Corey's neck.
Tickle.
Right. So, you rolled a 16. That's a good roll. All right. With that, I'll actually give you three things that you find out, asking people where you can talk to someone about carpentry and craftsmanship. Well, four. I'll tell you that you'll get referred to there's lots of people around here that do the kind of work. You realize they're just day laborers. You get told about an architect that lives in the upper mid tier. And also, because you're hey, Sarah's back. Hi, Sarah.
Hey, sorry about that. Got knocked offline.
All right. You can make your roll whenever you want. It was Scholar.
Yes. Okay.
All right. And so, Tom, you also find out, being that you're that there is a gardener. It's not what you're looking for, but somebody who's just sort of like, oh, I've seen one of you before. And there was someone that is apparently a gardener or sells plants or something like that in that same upper mid-tier quarter that, from your understanding, is probably Mycenaean, because the description is pretty much mushroom person. And I think you've heard once before somebody said, I've seen one of you before. But so you get told a little bit more about that. I know
the Guildmaster didn't react to my presence so wildly.
Sarah, you need to roll, or no, you don't need to roll it again. You lose the 1 and you lose the 6, which leaves you at a 7 because you gotta fail. Sorry, didn't that happen to you last time you tried to read? It's like your brain just doesn't want to learn.
What the heck?
All right.
Those little points to keep
Oh,
rolling,
nice.
though, to add another wild die.
All right. And the other thing I'll give you with your roll there, Tom, is you find that there is a person that does carpentry that people hire all the time to go into their homes and actually do renovation. He's not an architect, but he's someone that's like, hey, I'm going to be working on this area, or my stairs need to be fixed. He's a guy who's very talented that does that, and he'll sometimes be the one who gets the day laborers to come and help him. So you can decide who you want to go talk to.
Okay, so I have the architect, the day laborer, or the lead day laborer, and the Mycenaean gardener.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'm actually kind of curious to see a fellow Mycenaean on the surface and see what he has to say, what sort of knowledge he has to offer.
All right.
Before I try to awkwardly communicate with other sapient creatures.
Sounds good. All right. You will follow that thread. You go off to that person. It is, like I said, in the upper quadrant. It's not. It's not really near the Vallanthian, which is the inn that you're going to meet your friends at later, but it's not terribly far. It's sort of like, instead of making a straight line there, by going to this place, you're going to make kind of a triangle. And but it's not too far out of the way. And as you're arriving there, the place is it looks like a big boxy building, but there are vines just growing all over the entire place. Normally, this as a craftsman, that vines can tear down walls and really mess up structures. But being a talented craftsman, I'll just give it to you that you're looking and you see, are you frozen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He said it. Mm-hmm.
He said
he is frozen, and he said it, but I don't think he understood what you're asking.
No, I'm not.
You
Okay.
are frozen. Oh, now
Oh,
you're not.
there it goes.
I didn't say mm-hmm.
You did.
I didn't say mm-hmm. Oh, I did?
Yes, you did.
Damn it. I hate that automatic reflex that I have.
As soon as he had it, as soon as he said, "Are you frozen?" You were like, "Mm-hmm."
I thought I went mm-mm.
No, it went instantly. Mm-hmm. That's why I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, "Oh God!"
As long as you heard what Howard
Well, your face froze for a moment. Anyway, I was worried I was just wasting my breath talking to someone who couldn't hear me. But
exactly. Did you hear everything Howard said at least?
Yes, I did.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I also wanted to ask. Well, I could probably make the assumption that since this Mycenaean is also a gardener, he's also a verdant keeper.
Might be, you don't know, but you can see that the way the vines are growing through, that it looks almost shaped. It could be done with your powers as a verdant, or it could be done by a skilled gardener to grow it. But it would require constant attention and care to have it grow just right without actually destroying the structure.
Okay.
And do you enter? I suppose. Big question before I tell you what you see next. You go up to the door, and it's just a square door, just has moss all over it. And as you push the door open into the shop, the inside is well lit. There are multiple slats missing in the roof that allow a lot of sunlight in, and you see just an amazing garden of all kinds of plants that don't look like they should grow here, not just in this temperate zone, but some of them not necessarily on this continent. And then towards the back, you see that it almost fades from plants you would see above ground to plants you see below ground, which would be more your type, the fungus type. At the very end of the back of the shop is like a desk grown out of, looks like a log, but it looks more like a tree root has grown up, through, over, and then back down, and then been shaped into a log. And there's a big throne behind it of all kinds of plants, and a very large willowy Mycenaean sitting there, glowing kind of a bright green with a bright green top. And the person looks at you and they say, "Oh, hello, please enter."
All right, and I assume he's also he or she is or whichever they associate speaks Terran, right?
Just spoke Terran to you.
Okay.
Or actually, no. I didn't. She would have spoke, or it would have spoke. They. Sorry. No offense to anyone out there.
Whichever.
It's a mushroom. I don't think it is as offensive as it might be, but.
Well, there's
but
like
Vallanthian was the
$100,000.
language that they used instinctively, just on someone entering the shop. Although Terran would have made sense. Vallanthian being what was used when you entered.
Okay, so like, so they greeted me in Terran, but Tom will respond, "Hello there, friend. Lovely garden in Terran."
Thank you. Please come in. How may I help you?
It's a relief that I can actually speak to someone in my native language.
It's not
Like I
often.
was speaking with my associates in broken Vallanthian. Howard,
You do know that the dwarves speak very good Terran. Their accent is odd, but you can speak dwarves.
I've been around a lot of elves and humans, and this is a recent adventure for me to be on the surface.
I like the Sylphin language that the elves speak. It's very melodic.
From what I've heard, it seems pleasant. But I've come asking around because my associates and I are looking to do some odd jobs, and I'm looking to see if I can perhaps find some resources on understanding Vallanthian a little better than what I can currently speak, because I'm hoping to perhaps do some work as a carpenter around here, and I do not wish to speak in broken Vallanthian if I can help it.
Well, I don't know a lot about carpentry. That's not really my thing. But if you wish to know more about just how to speak, I may have something for you. Let me see. Do you mind waiting?
I wouldn't mind at all. I will definitely enjoy the garden to help pass the time. You would happen to be also a verdant keeper now, would you?
Verdant keeper. No, but I see why you'd think that. Actually, I don't work here alone. There is a verdant keeper present.
Oh.
You might see her later. She's not out at the moment.
All right. That's perfectly amicable. Thank you.
I'll return shortly. Did you actually say your name? I don't remember.
Oh, I don't think I had Tom introduce himself. Oh, and by the way, I apologize for not introducing myself. My name is Tom.
Larian.
Larian?
Yes.
All right. It's a pleasure to meet you, Larian.
All right.
Everyone calls him Larry.
Larian will turn. He looks like he steps behind the big throne-like thing of plants. As Larian turns, also you see that there are more eyes behind him, or her. I don't know.
Oh wow! So I assume he's like a very old Mycenaean.
Yeah, he's taller than you and very willowy, very thin. And his movements are almost just very fluid.
Stiff?
Fluid.
Fluid.
The opposite of stiff.
Ah.
I might look stiff. That's a GM thing. I was aiming for fluid with my pantomime. I may have failed. But anyway, Larian fluidly moves behind. And as he does, you'll notice that he actually seems to shrink down. And then not like his whole body shrink, but rather that more like a stalk withdrawing. And his cap lowers. And then he steps behind there. So you guess there must be a room back there with a shorter entrance than the chair itself. But you do hear something open, and he kind of goes into another room, and you're left alone in the chamber for a couple of minutes. And as you look around, you'll see that there are small animals living within the flowers and the plants. There's you see snails, you'll see spiders, bugs, butterflies, and you actually do notice a fairly large, kind of hefty cat kind of just stalking through, and it like pounces on a spider. And then after it gets it, it's like it doesn't really care anymore. And then it walks off and the spider scuttles away kind of like angrily. At which point he will return unless you wish to interact with the cat.
Perhaps if the cat is amicable, just pet the cat a little bit.
Make an animal handling check. That's charisma based.
All right, charisma.
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
don't want
See
to
if you
command
can get
it,
a
but
cat to react to you.
Unpleasantly so, probably. With a 6.
Yeah, the cat is not freaked out by you. Obviously, it's seen him saying before, but it doesn't know you, and it just kind of like recoils a little and then just turns and runs away.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of a wobbly gait to it because it's just a fat tabby. So the cat leaves as he returns, and Larry looks back and says, I don't know how much this will help you. It helps me to learn to read their language, but should also help you maybe to articulate your words better. It'll pass you a couple of scrolls. I don't use them anymore. You can just have them.
Why, thank you, Larian. Well, if you do have any need of my services in the future, if you need repairs done, I can perhaps offer to do that for you in exchange for the scrolls. I would feel terrible to just, take them, though I do appreciate the gesture.
Well, there isn't much actual carpentry done in here, as you can see. And he's not wrong. Everything that's constructed here is done mostly with the plants growing into place around what appears to be brick. So there's no real carpentry in the place, and you haven't said that you're a general craftsman. You only mentioned carpentry to him.
Oh, hold on. Could you repeat that last statement?
I said you've only mentioned.
I couldn't quite hear that.
You've only mentioned that you're a carpenter to him, not a general craftsman. So he'll point out there's no real woodwork, not worked wood. It's all healthy growing wood.
Okay. So I will have Tom mention that. Well, I don't only do carpentry, but I do work as a general craftsman. So wherever my work is needed, I can offer it.
Oh, where are you staying?
Mm-hmm. Currently at a place, from what I can gather, they call it I will repeat the murdered squirrel in Vallanthian, though he doesn't associate, he's not sure how to say it in Terran.
Well, the Vallanthian is the name of an inn in Vallanthia, or in this city. That's the one you're going to go meet at, and Murdered Squirrel is the one you came from. Although you can say,
so where I'm going, okay.
Yeah, you're going to the Vallanthian, but that's just to meet up with him. If you actually have a room at the Murdered Squirrel, so if you say Murdered Squirrel, that's fine.
Yeah, I thought that's what Larian was asking. That where I'm.
Well,
staying.
He's just asking where you're staying. I was just curious what you answered as. All right, the Murdered Squirrel. Oh, well, that's a rough place. That's what I've heard anyway. No problems?
It seems most of the buildings are out of shape, but we were, my associates and I were helping solve some issues that were being done, and myself and another associate almost had our souls torn apart by a necromancer. Thankfully, I was able to recover, but it was.
I was only aware that there were bar fight issues. I didn't know there were necromancers
helping solve the problem.
I was not aware of that. I just knew there were bar fight issues.
From what I could gather, there were issues with their talent being run out of the bar. They all seemed to have been female, and it was due to this one individual that was scorned, I believe, by the women that he took interest in, and just decided to cause problems for the bar.
That's terrible.
I promised not to hurt him, but he still wound up hurting me in the end.
You did mention you did mention that you wanted to talk better with the humans. You might consider I don't normally do it myself, but sometimes when I leave the shop, he reaches back into his area behind his throne. But this time he only just like kind of elongates and extends his body so that his like trunk is still in front of you, but stretching around. And then he comes back after a few moments holding
Okay, so
clothing.
he Reed Richards. So he Reed Richards his
exactly.
arm.
He's fantastic. And he comes back and says, you might consider something like this. They may be a little tighter on you, but and he'll show you a shirt that is buttoned down the front basically, but the armholes, the sleeves are not attached, but they can button on. So that way you can either have them or not. And he looks at it, he's like, it may not, your structure is not quite the same as mine. You'll need an additional hole here. It'll take some fancy tailoring, which I'm not a tailor. But you might consider just getting some clothes. I'm sorry, I would give you this, but I don't think it'll fit you right. But if you can get some clothes, that will definitely help them to associate better that you're a person, and as I've been called a tree a few times, not a tree.
Oh. Well, I do find trees to be majestic from the ones I've seen as I came outside.
But you're trying to relate to people. Focus.
Yes.
If you want to relate to them, dress as them. We don't have the same structure. I'm afraid while I can adjust myself to fit into this, I don't know if you can. Essentially, you can buy body control as one of your racial things, but unless you buy some rank stuff in it, I don't think you're going to want to try and work out the shirt.
I do have contortion, if that works.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you could make a contortion check, but if at any point you get excited or need to run, you're going to go rip out of your clothes.
Yeah, my arms will return to their default position.
Right.
Okay. I could perhaps adjust myself a little bit to fit in these clothes. Allow me to see if I can try. So I'll do a contortion roll. Yeah. Nope.
All right.
Hold on. It shows I have a 6, but that was probably from my previous roll. Unless it's...
Well, it's 9:37 now, and that one came out at 9:30, well, my time. So, yeah, that's a 7-minute-old roll.
Okay, so, roll. Yeah.
That's actually worse.
Darn you, bonus dice.
With a crit fail. You need it. I'll be honest, just getting into this, because there's no struggle, really, it would have just been a difficulty of 5. Do you want to spend points to wear a shirt? It's up to you.
You got that extra one that you got today from the fans.
What was my original stats? Because I think I readjusted them when I had the -1 and such. I forgot to readjust them.
Oh. I don't remember your original stats right now.
You got to take care of your own character sheet, man.
That is my bad.
I mean, I can audit your character after the game and figure it out, but I'm not going to do it right now in the middle of the game. Do you want to just spend a character point?
Understandable.
Or do you want to spend a character point, or do you want to fail? Because that's not even a 5.
Nah, I'll go ahead and fail it because
okay,
you
try and
probably
and you feel the stitching starting to pop, and you stop, but you've definitely ripped his shirt a little. He's maybe not.
Well, perhaps I should try another time. I've been feeling a little off the past few days.
All right.
But I definitely appreciate the clothing. I will see if I could get it adjusted or adjust myself to it.
I can tell you who my tailor was.
Certainly.
He's in this quarter, actually, and he gives you directions to a tailor shop.
Okay. So I will go ahead and say my thanks to Larian and say my goodbyes and try to make my way to the tailor then.
Okay.
All right, side quest and mini game.
Clothes. You know what they say? Clothes make the mushroom.
Vallanthia.
All right. Let's see.
But
Esri was reading. Tom wanted to go talk to, as it turned out, another Mycenaean. And then we have Erder and White Ape. You are headed back to the Temple of Earth, the stone sculptor temple.
Indeed. Yes.
All right.
I'll be right back. I need to check on something.
Okay. You go check on something. All right. You go to the stone sculptor temple. I'm trying to get my notes on that temple up real quick. I know it's a huge white stepped pyramid. And there's more. I seem to remember there being more.
But wait, there's more.
One would hope. Oh, there it is.
And
Earthmaster
so
Mogren.
on.
Act now, and we'll throw in.
All right. You go back to the big white step pyramid. There is somebody at the front, just like before. There's a earth stone sculptor at the front who's basically standing guard, denying people entrance to the temple if they don't have a reason to be there. And this time it is a woman. She looks human. She's dressed in the same simple robes as many of the others you've seen. She has real long hair, but it's all tied up into a very tight, big, thick ponytail on her head.
All right.
And she looks at you as you all approach.
Hello.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'm a student here, and this is a guest.
Hello.
All right.
My name is White Ape, Winterborn Catholian White Ape of the Spring, son of the Fallen Matron with the Summer Kiss skin.
That's quite the name. I haven't seen you here before. Do you have any proof of this claim?
Look at his hand.
The master didn't give me anything. Oh yeah, I got this.
Oh, that's actually pretty impressive.
I forget I have this sometimes. It's just natural.
She reaches out to take your hand, which is exactly what the last guard did too. May I?
Of course. Yeah.
She looks at your hand.
It's not an illusion.
You feel her. She basically tries to manipulate your hand with her magic to make sure it's really a rock and not basically, like you say, not an illusion or something else. But to do that, I still have to roll. No magic is automatic.
I mean, it's neat that another rock mage could control my hand, but then it's stop punching yourself. Stop punching yourself.
Oh, okay. It's too bad she didn't want to do anything really detrimental to impress you, like rip your arm off, because she totally could have. But she wasn't trying to harm you. She was just trying to make sure that's real rock. It's manipulating the way it sounds like it is. So basically, she goes like this, and your fist just clenches involuntarily and then opens. And she goes, solid rock, manipulating. Well, how about that?
I'm new here.
It's pretty solid, huh?
I just got my admittance yesterday. Did I forget to get a special badge or a uniform or anything of that nature?
Well, actually, there are only about 30 or 40 students here at any given time. We all generally recognize each other. I haven't seen you before.
Oh, okay. This is Rudel. Is there a place where I can where Rudel can stay here?
There are a couple of other people here that have pets. None of them are as big as. Why is your goat so big?
His name's Rudel.
That's how goats are.
Rudel is the size of a horse, just in case everybody else wasn't clear on that. That's
just
not a normal goat.
That's just how big they are where I come from. Wait, you're all Earth. You do Earth magic. You've never been up high in the mountains where the goats grow this big?
I wasn't born in the mountains, no.
Oh, well, I was. I'm sorry. I just assumed you would go there because that's where the Earth...
Not all Earth sculptors are from the mountains. What a weird idea.
I've become very quiet, like I said something wrong.
Well...
Yeah, that would be kind of weird if everybody just came from the same region.
But as far as the giant goat, there are a couple of people that have pets. there's a cat, there's a dog, there's a bird. Never seen giant goats. I don't know if they might make you stable that. There's no stable here.
There's no stable? No one has a horse?
Not in the temple.
Oh. Well, Roodle's really nice. Is there a way I can maybe get one built for the temple?
You can ask. I'm not in charge of that. I'm just supposed to make sure that your reasons for coming here are right. And you said, she looks at you and said, you said that you're not an earth or a stone sculptor, that you're just here because
he's a guest. He's a guest. He was told by the headmaster he could stay here if he wanted to.
To be clear, this is not your slave. That's illegal in this city.
Look at Erda. like
I go, oh, no.
Erda, you can be my slave.
No.
Actually, you
it's
can't.
It's illegal in this city.
She immediately gave me the idea and then took it away. Never crossed my mind before.
The head instructor man, the Grand Master, I believe he said his term was. He said I could stay here if I worked. I just haven't really been assigned any work to do yet. And I don't know really how long the hours are.
You spoke with Earthmaster Mogren?
I think that was his name.
Yes, that's who we spoke to.
Well, very well.
I better write that name down.
Do you have the ability to walk through the halls? Did they show you how to do that yet?
Nope, that wasn't in the brochure.
Very well. She'll lead the way. She is not as awesome as some other people, so she has to make rolls. Oh my God.
He's self-conscious because of the goat.
That is as close to a crit fail that you can get without crit failing because of the layout of the ones. Any other order, that would have been a critical failure. But as it is, it's just a 5. She goes to move the wall, and you see her just struggle for a moment. And she herself looks surprised because just a moment, I got this insane roll to make him squeeze his fist. She takes a deep breath. We're not in combat, so it's no huge issue that it failed, and she rolls again. There we go. She begins moving the walls and begins the process of taking you down the corridors to the more open areas.
What's your name again?
So, is there a way for me to do that?
No. Well.
So don't go into any of these rooms.
Not that I would tell you about.
so don't go into any of these rooms if they get locked up again.
I'll be honest. I've seen one person who was not an earth sculptor who somehow could manipulate these walls. And I don't know how that person did it, so I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
What's your name again, Ms. Guard?
Hang on. I have a whole list of instant NPC names.
Okay, so she's not
here's one.
I don't have to remember her name then. Her name is Megan.
Her name is Glowgloth the Unforgiving.
Where do you get that name? That is awful. That's like the worst. No, we'll just go with Yen.
Yen?
Fine. Yen. I like short names for people that aren't important.
It's short for Yennefer.
Yay, there it is. You can later marry her.
I thought Megan was a great name. I don't know. Sometimes
no one likes Megan's, Corey.
I actually didn't hear you say Megan, and I've already got Yen written down.
We're good
it's
then.
Locked in place. Because anything that's in Notepad is forever permanent.
Next time there's a woman that Howard hasn't named yet, it's Megan.
Can we at least make it Megan?
There'll be a lot of Megans running around.
Yep.
Meg.
All right. So yeah, she will direct you. She will take you to where you want to go. Did you want to go see Master Morgan again?
I don't think so. I guess Rudel can stay outside. Just he can chill out. No one's gonna do anything to him.
Would you like a hitching post?
Oh,
she
yeah.
Can grow one.
Yeah,
she attempts
sure.
to grow a hitching post for you.
I don't
Attempts.
know what I can manipulate here. I don't want to overstep my bounds and just like pull rock out of someplace that's important. But sure, let's.
Oh, now she gets the great roll. Jesus. Okay.
Made a hitching post.
That's a very good hitching post.
My God.
I clicked that. That last two doesn't count, but it's still insane.
Okay.
So with a 37, she made the same roll that I got a 4 on before. And now a 37 to make a hitching post. She is either awesome or derpy.
Yeah, I guess we can make a talk to the Grandmaster about what I need is an itinerary of classes is basically what I need. So do I talk to the instructors about that of those classes, or do I talk to the Grandmaster about making an itinerary?
Would find it's not necessarily different for each student, but there are different instructors that teach different things. You go to the instructor that teaches what you want to learn when they're willing to teach.
Excellent.
And so what are you looking for? And also, if you want to arrange your room in that, Earthmaster Mogren can do that, or Earthmaster Garage.
So I don't know exactly what everybody here can do. I'm pretty good at flinging stones around and shaping a protective stone shell, but I'd like to learn more about the spirits of magic and maybe something that I've not been able, like something I don't have the imagination yet to do with Earth.
There is a master that knows some of the more esoteric things.
Oh, big boy.
And sorry, I was distracted by a cat. That's not even here. All right. Earthmaster Renid. I'm sorry, Master Renid, she says. Not Earthmaster. That's a different rank. Master Renid knows some of the more esoteric things that you're asking about. He may be able to help you. So you just want to see him, or if you go to either Garage or Morgan, you can set up a place to live, whether or not you can have the Rudel with you. And if you go to see Renid, you can talk about what you want to study.
So we already have a room. I remember that we got a room. I think.
Yeah. He told you you'd have a room there, but you didn't ask about Rudel.
No.
And nor do you know what Erda would be doing there as far as work and what that's going to entail.
So let's figure that out first. Let's get everything so we know what our staying conditions are, and then we can start learning.
All right. Because this is probably boring to some of the other people, we will fast forward. You just direct you to Master Renid. Master Renid is. You're going to be probably surprised by this. Master Renid is a ridiculously large person, but he has 2 heads, and he's about 3 meters tall.
So are those heads like next to each other? Are they
Yes.
Are they
2
on
heads
his
on
shoulders?
one body?
They are next to each other on one body.
On his shoulders, like they come out.
Yes, he is a 2-headed giant of a human, or of a giant.
Got it.
I should say.
Oh, he's also a giant. Got it.
Yeah, I said 3 meters. That's way too tall.
That's like 9 feet, more than 9 feet, almost 10 feet.
And Master Renid looks down at you when you get to him, and one head just like concentrates on you, and the other head will concentrate on Erda.
Okay.
I
Hello.
will bow politely.
Greetings, Master Ridded.
At which point the whole body will bow, but each head is focusing on whichever person that they started on.
I've never met a person like you before, or persons. I'm not. You must forgive me.
We are Renid.
So plural?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's. All right. I'm a new student here. My name is the Winterborn Catholian White Ape of the Spring, son of the fallen matron with the summer kiss skin, and this is my good friend Erda Shalathmi. His name's a lot harder than mine.
Both heads just kind of sigh at that insane introduction. What can we do for you?
I am a new student here. I have received quarters, but I have a giant goat that is my companion. He's my mount. He is my pet. He's a member of my family, and you do not have a place here for him. Is there?
Oh, you know what? Howard made a mistake. I gave you Master Renid if you wanted to take care. I don't know why. Master Renid is the teacher of the esoteric art of stone sculpting. The Earth Master Garange is the one you would have want, but whatever. You saw him on the way, so you now know his description. Earth Master Garange.
Earth Master Garage.
Yeah, my bad. Earth Master Garange is a tall, dark-skinned woman, looks human, but nothing about her stands out. She's not a giant, not anything else. She just looks like a dark-skinned human woman.
Okay, I tell her the same thing.
Okay, and she says that anyone that has a pet here or a friend is expected to care for these people and pets, which means that if your friend needs to come and go, that you would be the one who's expected to make sure your friend can, as well as your pet.
Right. Can I build a stable for my
you can?
Oh, excellent. Then I will. Thank you.
Do you have the ability? You should have the ability if you are practiced as an earth sculptor. Can you feel the ground?
Of course.
She asks you.
Of course.
And she looks at you expectantly. Can you tell me what's beneath us?
What skill do I use for that?
Tremor sense.
I have tremor. I don't have tremor sense.
It is the ability that you got with acumen. It uses acumen. It is a special ability that only earth sculptors have.
Okay, I did not get that ability.
Yes, you did.
I did. Extra sense, tremor sense. You can make sense disturbances in the earth. Make an acumen check, adding a skill appropriate to the action, and you can use this sense to do something normal senses can't, like burrowing creatures. So this is an extra skill I can buy.
No, you already have it. You can roll it right now. You already have it. You can buy ranks in it later if you'd like to get better at it.
Right.
But you already have it. She's asking you to prove it right now by putting your hand on the ground and telling you what's beneath it.
Okay, so is this just an acumen check? Because I didn't put ranks into it? Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
6.
Character point.
With a 6, to do something easy, it's actually a 5. You do that, and you sense that the ground beneath you, after about a couple inches, is hollow. That there's space. You didn't get very high on that, so I can't give you more information than that. But you can go, oh, there's nothing else. There's nothing beneath us. However you want to relate that info.
I say, I think there's a room beneath us after a couple inches of stone.
So you understand, when you build here, you feel and make sure that you're not interfering with the existing structure.
Right.
Then knowing that, and you make your stable, assuming you don't destroy anything, no one will be mad. So be wise about it.
Thank you. That's excellent information. Thank you very much.
Okay. Do you want to skip ahead to the next meeting?
Yeah, let's just skip ahead to the next meeting. Wait. My friend Erda was told he could stay here by Grandmaster Mokaran, And
Mogrin.
huh?
Mogrin. She corrects you. Mogrin.
Moglin.
Rin.
Moglin. Moglin. Yes.
Rin.
R-I-N.
Grin, like smile. Mo Grin.
Mogrin. Yes, by Grandmaster Mogrin.
All right. And you want to know? I think you were going to ask her what he could do to work. What he has to do to work?
Yeah. What kind of work can he do to stay here?
She looks at Erda. What kind of work can you do to stay here?
I'm a good. I have been trained as a healer. I'm a scholar. I have been trained in smithing and crafting. All very mundane in origin, not necessarily same kind of crafting as.
The kind of crafting that goes on here wouldn't require the kind of skills that you are offering. However, you might be able to give people advice on how to craft things so they don't fall apart later, teaching them where stress points are. But I would imagine you might be more help as either a healer if you're actually good at it, or we do have some use for scholars to research things, but mostly I would suggest you speak with, and she'll give you the name of somebody else to work as a healer.
And
Accidents do occur when people are moving around large rocks.
I'm also a fairly competent fencer, but I'm doubting that is of much use to you guys here at the temple.
Not in the form of labor, no.
I think Erda healing is a really good and very I think a lot of people would think that's extremely useful. I think that's room and board. I think that definitely gives you room and board.
I have my my physic, or what is it called?
Physicers kit.
Physicers kit. Yeah, there you go. I have my physicers kit, and I am not as proficient perhaps as some, but I have been trained and know how to ensure that most injuries are treated, and I can ensure that anybody who is on the verge of extreme health crises are seen through those dark times.
All right. She'll give y'all directions to the ward where they take injured people or sick people. Whitey probably figured it out quicker than Erda just because of his ability to understand depth and layers by sense. This place actually extends far underground, more than it looks like on the outside. There's actually an entire complex down there. So you have directions to the healing ward, I guess we'll call it for now, for whenever you want to do that. Do you want to go ahead and ask her any more questions or skip over to
let's go to
Rened?
Yeah, let's go to Rennig.
All right, Rened. Rened, because everything I say, I hear it sound different when Corey repeats it back. So I'm going to start spelling things.
Rened. Rened.
Yeah, I put two N's, but that doesn't matter.
Rened. Rened.
All right. You are in front of Rened. Big head staring at each of you, and you are asking him about. You were going to ask him what he could teach you.
Yes. I am looking to. I am a new student, and I'm looking for things I can learn. And I hear very esoteric things that others do not. I understand a lot of straightforward things. I'm looking for ways to use my magic that aren't like I don't think I can imagine myself that I need guidance for.
Do you wish to know more about spirits of Earth?
Of course.
Or just creative ways to bend the Earth?
So let me give you a little bit of my background. I come from the high mountains in this direction, and here is where I was, and then I've traveled to Vallanthia. And there I was, I lived a pretty hard life, and I spelunked and dived into caves a lot, and I found a place that was, I don't know, like synchronous with the earth, like a special place for the earth. And there were spirits there that I befriended, and they taught me earth magic. So
The ley lines?
Is that what they're called? I don't know. I don't know what they're called. I just know that this was a very special place. And I would love to know more about the earth spirits and where what I can do for them and what they can do for me. I think that is a very that's definitely something I'm interested in. If you know more about it, I don't have scholarly knowledge like that. I know I was just friends with them.
I believe what you encountered was called a Earth Karen of the along the Manalay lines. There are convergence points.
Oh, Cairn, Earth Cairn. I thought you said Earth Karen. Like,
Yeah.
I am of the
It
Earth. I
was-
need to see the Earth's manager.
Yeah, exactly. Excuse me, but I'm going to need to see all of you lava monsters managers.
Oh,
right.
we're gonna have to wake up Big Mama now, don't we?
All right.
Excuse
So he tells you, I have a place that I speak with spirits, a commune deep within, and he basically describes directions down to deep beneath the complex to basically what you imagine would be must be a cavern at that depth. And he says, I will teach you there. I will be there. I go there at night and I stay there through morning. I do not leave until sun is high to come up. So at noon, he comes out of there. If you want to learn, you have to be down there before noon.
Excellent. Okay. I will be
I'm
there.
taking his slow speak and translating it to normal speed.
I will be. Is Vallanthian not your native language?
No.
We can speak Terran.
What is his native? There is a native language for them. I think it is Terran. Okay. He responds to you in Terran if you wish. He says if you wish, but he still has a weird, slow way of speaking that. Just remember, like all the dwarves speak Terran, a lot of the earth spirits speak Terran, the giants speak Terran. It's just when he speaks, it's much slower.
Okay. Well, that's weird because he has two heads. You think he could speak a lot faster?
No, occasionally his voice will just alternate coming out of one head or the other, and sometimes both at once. It's a little bit disturbing.
It's like
Yeah, I'm
Tomax
gonna
and
say-
Zaymot.
Especially when y'all start talking in Terran, I'm just going to sit back and be like, what is happening?
It's kind of like when you have two speakers in front of you, but the sound is only coming out of the left one, and then all of a sudden it's only coming out of the right one, and then they're both on. And you're like, this is disconcerting.
No, it's
I
like
gotta get new speakers.
it's like Tomax and Zaymot from G.I. Joe.
Yeah, there you go. Except slower, but not in an attempt to be corny. They were so corny.
Well, thank you, Master. I will be there.
All right. They nod their heads. All right, is that everybody? Are we gonna skip to the Vallanthian, or do y'all want to? Let's see. Actually, I'll tell you what. There is one more possible plot point that I'm supposed to roll for because it says in my notes to roll for it, and I'll obey the ideas that I had when I was tired. Cool. And let's see. We got 4 people here. I'm gonna roll a D4, even though it's a D6 based game.
Bum, bum, bum.
Cool.
The 4.
All right.
Wow. Uh-oh.
So, Esri,
Yes.
you finish trying to read, and you're like, ugh, this is maddening. Why there's their horrible squiggly lines? So there's no art to their language. It's nothing like
Clearly.
Sylvan.
Clearly.
Maddening. Anyway, so you realize everybody else has gone off on their various things. It's about time you start heading towards the Vallanthian because you were given the directions. And as you get near the where you're supposed to be, you see a gnome. He looks small even for a gnome, which are normally pretty small creatures. This fellow looks like he's less than 2 feet tall, and he is just very vigorously running about the street, bothering people, and he sees you and makes a beeline right for you, like he is excited to come talk to you.
Oh boy.
That's a fair reaction.
I don't have any money. Go away.
All right.
Hey, hi, are you in town? I haven't seen you before. I definitely would have remembered seeing one of you. Yeah, I mean, I have seen one of you before. I just haven't seen you before. Hi. You want a job? Are you new in town? You looking for a job? I can help you get a job.
What kind of job?
Well, looks like, let's see. He looks you over. Says, man, it's so hard to tell what you people are about. And by you people, I mean black elves. Take that however you want. So, you look like a fighter. You fight?
I can.
All right. Well, I can get you jobs if you want to be like a security type person, like a bodyguard, or I know some people that they do like the whole underground fight ring. Or if you really want to be a gladiator, I get you to the arena. But I mean, you're huge to me, but you're not that kind of huge. You know what I mean? So what do you want to do?
I do. So do you deal in any kind of underground magic type things?
Oh, that's a great question. I like your question. We shouldn't talk about that out here, but hey, follow me. And he like scurries towards a particular shop.
All right, I'll follow him.
All right. The shop is stocked with really pricey looking antiques. There aren't a lot of customers in here. You don't know if it's the price that makes people just not go in there or why, but you don't see anybody just casually looking around. There is a very beautiful woman behind the counter currently reading a book. She kind of glances up a little bit, and he's like, hey boss. This lady says she wanted to know about special magics. And he kind of does the whole winky thing. And the woman looks, well, sorry, not at you, but at him. Very well. And she looks at you and she smiles, and she has an incredible charm about her. She's human, or at least she looks human. But her face, if her face lit up any more, she would be Losifar. She's not actually glowing, but she has so much charm in her. Just as she leans forward, she just exudes it. So, tell me more. What can I help you find? What are you looking for?
Do you know anything about shadow magic?
Shadow magic. Interesting. Do I? Let me look that up, because that's actually a rare question. There's my dice roller. My scholar check. Well, poop. She thinks for a moment. She says, not offhand, I can look into it. Is there something specific I can find for you?
I'm interested in a temple I've heard is around here. A temple that deals in shadows.
Oh, that I have heard of. Well, maybe. That wasn't very clever of me, was it? But I suppose the cat's out of the bag now. I can share this information with you for a price, perhaps a favor or coin if you have it.
What kind of favor?
I like that you went to favor first before asking the price. You're my kind of girl. Well, let's see. What is your specialty right now?
I'm going to go ahead and produce some shadow magic for her. I'm going to duplicate White Ape's goat in my hand with shadows.
Interesting. All right.
I just imagine doing shadow puppets on the wall. She's like,
in your
this, it's a duck.
My goat has a name.
It's Strudel.
Couldn't remember it.
Pretty sure it's Strudel.
No, that
That's
doesn't
a
sound
very
right.
nice goat.
All right.
Very
You're not
nice.
That
there,
is,
white ape.
that is not
Not only
your.
strudel, but rude strudel.
Okay, so shaping shadow is not something that you've taken as an actual skill, although you can eventually. But it is something you can still attempt by making a straight mana roll, which in your character sheet is listed as extra normal.
Okay.
If you want either before or after, you can always spend character points to add to it if you feel like you need it.
Alrighty. Let me go ahead and roll.
All right.
This is the same kind of thing, like if I'm creating a shadow weapon, right?
The shadow weapon that you can make, the one that you normally use, is actually a weird special ability you have for another reason.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. So it'd be just an extra normal roll.
Right.
Okay.
It's actually a very good roll.
Yes. It
All
looks
right.
very lifelike, apparently.
And because it is shadow and you can't move it, you make a little goat. You can make it rear up and prance around in your hand.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm going for.
Oh,
Okay.
It was on my mind since I just saw his goat, so I'm making it dance for her.
That works. All right. She will study you with her scholarly abilities because she wants to figure out what you're doing. Kind of a low roll, but all right, it still succeeds. She definitely knows that was real magic, and not. And as she studies it, she'll say, "May I?" And then she'll reach down to touch the shadow material and put her hand in your hand.
Sure.
She gives you like a weird flirty vibe at the same time, and actually like draws her like fingers slowly across your palm, and she's like leaning too far forward with like so her clothes open, but she does appear to honestly be studying the magic while she's doing it. And when she's done, she goes, "Well, that's fascinating. I had never seen someone actually craft with shadows. I'm going to be looking this up on my own. This is fantastic. But I don't have a particular use for this power because I've never seen it before. I'd have to think of something. But if you want to do a Yomi one, I'll tell you what I know about the shadow token." And she looks into your eyes, and she's just exuding charm.
She's so charming. Yeah.
Like she really wants to be your friend. She loves you. She cares about you. She
I'm sure.
She might like you in an inappropriate way. You're not real sure.
And if I wanted to pay in coin, what would the price be?
Oh, that information is fairly rare. Probably for you, 50 gold.
Let me look at my character sheet real quick because I do not know how much money I have off the top of my head.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I do know that 50 gold is a lot, especially in new
I'm
characters.
thinking it probably is too. Let's see here. Where is the money on the character sheet? Probably at the bottom somewhere, right?
it's in the middle.
I think so.
Oh yeah, that's way more than I have. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, then I am going to go ahead and go. All right, you have your favor. And what can you tell me?
First, I'll just need to know your name and where to find you.
Esri Darkstone.
All right. And when I wanted to call in the favor, where would I be going?
Currently, I'm staying at the Drunken Squirrel.
Yeah, it's murdered, but close enough.
Oh, sorry. Murdered Squirrel.
The myrtled squirrel.
All right, and she's going to do a street read on you, even though I know that the two things you said are true. She doesn't, but yeah, well, actually, take away 6, it's still a 14. That's an all right roll. She believes you that that you're giving her real information. All right, so here's what I know: the Temple of Shadows is supposedly more of a. It's not a temple like people that have magical shadow powers. That's not something I'd heard. What I heard was more of that as a name for a place where people that are committing crimes go, but it is actually more temple-like. Like there's a whole religion based around stealing. I believe that it's to one of the older gods, the gods that are now considered blaspheme or mythical, according to the Church of Light. You know, the gods that we just don't use anymore. But I mean, let's be honest. No offense, but you're an elf, which means you're older than humans, and you can remember more than 20 years ago. So you remember there was a time when there was more than just two religions. There's a temple around here that if you go into some, not the lower quarter, but in the lower mid quarter, and she gives you some directions to it. That's just, she warns you, it's a really bad side of town. But she says there's a bar there. Then you go to that bar, ask around, or just keep your eyes open, and you'll probably see some people doing something weird. Mostly they'll be giving each other a symbol where they hold their hand like this and then just maneuver it behind their other hand as if to hide the symbol that they're showing you. And that is apparently their way of just casually showing people that they're in the club to go somewhere else and talk. She hasn't actually been there. She just certainly has no intention to attend such a temple. But this Temple of Shadow is apparently a religion, and it's crime-based, a religion about crime.
And what's the name of the bar?
The name of the bar is in my notes, because it's a real place that I actually have written up, and therefore I have to look it up. And it's much easier when I can make it up on the fly. But I don't want to go back and change it in my notes later to the thing that I just made up, because then I'll be like, no, the thing I wrote was so much cooler.
Rugal, that's the goat's name. See, I need to start writing stuff down.
Rudel.
Rudel?
Rutul, yes.
Rutul. Okay.
Strudel.
I need to start writing stuff down because I can't remember names for anything. Clearly. Twinkle, sparkle.
The goat's name is Devin Nunes' cow.
All right. It is called Ol Terra. It literally, she says on the sign, in Vallanthian, she tells you, because she is human, that it's spelled O-L apostrophe Terra, and it's run by Eldia, is the name of the person who runs the inn. She doesn't know if Eldia is associated with the Shadow Temple, just that she runs the inn where a lot of these people seem to be meeting.
Eldia Old Terran, got it.
Right, Eldia.
Eldia? Okay.
Yeah, E-L-D-I-A.
Got it.
And then the little gnome comes back, is like, did I do good? Did I find someone? Is she one of the people that we wanted to get? Is it? She's like, just go back to work.
Just go,
like,
right?
All of her charm, just when he is in the room, just gone. Go.
Just go away. Get away from me, right?
And little gnome just kind of runs off back out into the crowds.
Scamp.
And like I say, he's not just a little gnome. He's little for a gnome.
He's a tiny gnome.
All right.
Good to know.
Itty bitty gnome. All right. And that is the last of that. You can all go to the Vallanthian unless you want to do anything else here.
I'm down.
Okay. As you all begin to gather at the Vallanthian, you see in big letters across the front of the building something. But there's a plaque which has a picture of the symbol of Vallan inside of an inn, which is what he told you to look for. And as you enter in the Vallanthian, the bartender is a big, ripped, jacked man with long, flowing blonde hair. And he looks up and goes, "Oh, welcome to my inn. Please have seats. And what will you all be drinking? We have Vallanthian ale. I can't believe it's not Vallanthian ale." And also at the bar, you'll see Valthier Thornheart. And then other patrons are just general mix of people, mostly human.
Do you have wine?
We do. We have Vallanthian wine, and I can't believe it's not Vallanthian wine. Which one would you like? I can't believe it's I can't believe it's not Vallanthian wine. It's cheaper.
I
I can't believe it's I can't believe it's not Vallanthian wine. Which one would you like? The I can't believe it's I can't believe it's not Vallanthian wine. It's cheaper. Which one would you like? The I can't believe it's not Vallanthian wine. It's cheaper. tastes just as good. You won't be able to believe it.
I can't believe it's not Vallanthian wine, just wine from other places.
That's a special brew. Or a special mix.
I don't.
And the secret ingredient
I
is
blend my own
arsenic.
wines here. I blend the wines here.
Oh, so this is a vineyard in a brewery and
No, I blend the wines here.
Yeah, he just takes all the backwash from all the wine tastings and then mushes them up into a barrel.
Maybe.
And that's called can't
God,
believe
that is grody.
Disgusting.
One would assume not, but maybe that's what he's doing.
it's
My name is
oops.
Diorn.
It's my special blend. Oops, all dregs.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's gross.
I'll
That's
take
pretty
some
nasty. To be
Vallanthian
fair, I
wine.
didn't come up with the dreg idea. That was your all.
You just ran with it.
I'll take some Vallanthian
And the
wine.
special
Thank you.
ingredient comes from the spittoon.
Ugh.
Now you get it.
I really
nasty.
can't believe this isn't
This isn't
Upscale
killing
wine.
anyone.
I'll have some Vallanthian wine. Thank you.
All right.
bid free, please. I'll order
I'm
myself a
willing
drink.
to skip the Taylor story and just like cut to like meeting up with everyone else.
I assumed you were. I didn't. Did you want to go try and go to the tailor before that? They're not going to be able to sew an entire shirt for you between you meeting them and then you meeting these guys. But we can say that you set up to be sewn later.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. If you want to skip that scene, I honestly forgot that. But if you wanted to do that today, it wouldn't be done in time. So I guess I didn't assume that you would do that today.
So like if I was with the rest of the group and the innkeeper was introducing the Vallanthian wine, like Tom would be like, "Oh, sorry, buddy." Yeah, he just decided to get up, and I just like immediately hit him with my leg. I was like, "No, I'm sorry."
Yes,
Feeding
you were.
your pets, huh?
You
I
were
didn't
definitely
want
supposed
to.
to be there for that. Yes.
Okay, so so Tom will say, "I'd like to try both, please," or both.
Oh,
please.
good. I'm very, very happy to set up a taste test. And he pours a goblet of. Did you want the wine or the ale? As he's about to pour a goblet.
Like the Vallanthian wine and the I cannot believe it's not Vallanthian wine.
Oh, very well.
I would
pour
warn
you
that
a
if
goblet
you
of
do a
both.
blind taste test, he does have 3 eyes and not just the 2.
Does he not
Cover
taste with his
them all.
tongue?
I don't know.
I can taste just fine.
Yes, but you can see out of 3 different eyes. So if it's a blind taste test, you have to make sure all 3 of those eyes are closed.
Oh. Okay. Strange
that's-
tradition, but I will try them.
I was not trying to blind him.
Racist to me.
Then why did you say it was a blind taste test?
I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The only person that said blind taste test is Tarek, for the record.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's where I heard it from.
That's why I'm like, wait, are we looking at me here?
Okay.
He said he wanted to try both, and I asked him if he said ale or wine. That was it.
You did say, "Oh, I could totally set up a taste test," and I was like, "Oh, well, if it's gonna be a blind taste test,
Oh, that was
you.
you.
The
That
blind
was
part.
all you. Okay.
I
Yeah,
added
the blind part was you.
But he did say taste test, so that's why I just ran.
I don't
with it.
know.
Say
does-
test.
I would think that like mushroom people have different senses of taste than us. It's like, yeah, we have all of the senses of taste. We have sweet, sour, blamph, George, like whatever.
Girthy,
All right.
viscous, they're all great.
Viscous, yeah, the viscous taste.
Gukula Morkula Gorp. That one's a special one.
So that you know, he charges you a silver for the Vallanthian wine and 5 copper for the I can't believe it's not Vallanthian wine. If you'd like to try and tell if there's an honest difference, just make an acumen check. And if you have any special wine tasting skill, let me know. But I don't think anyone thinks
I will.
He has mushroom
try.
sommelier.
that.
I have 100% spent my very limited amount of points on things like wine tasting.
I knew this would come into play.
Unfortunately, this is going to be the all identifying aged cheese game. So you wasted all your points.
So would this be under crafting for craft brewing or artisan brewing?
Well, I would say
acumen.
it's flavor based, so it's acumen. But is crafting under acumen?
Crafting's under acumen.
I will allow crafting. That's an interesting take on it. But no, unless you have a very specific specialization, just crafting.
It's just crafting. But maybe he's taste tested for some friends with
Sure.
with their own make of brews and such.
I am the best swordsman in the country. No one can
Alright.
outdo
Wow.
me. Game Master, you must pick the
Wow.
right wine or instantly die.
Is a wasted roll for something like this.
Oh, that's
but
really
okay.
All right, so you taste it, and you can definitely taste the difference. The Vallanthian wine is a fine red wine, and I can't believe it's not Vallanthian wine. It tastes like he tried to mix a white wine with a really dark red wine to try and lighten it up. But you're like, no, I see what he meant. That's what he meant by I blended it myself.
Blush.
Is he thought he could use 2 cheap wines and fool people, and you are not fooled.
This
You're like they're even separating.
like yeah, like he's like, this tastes like 2 wines. It's good. He just downs it.
I'm sorry. Do you have any mulled wine?
Are you saying mold or mold?
He's saying mold.
MULLED.
Like
mulled
cider.
wine.
Well, there's a Mycenaean standing in front of him, so I think it's a valid question.
Yeah.
Hey, fungus and mold aren't the same
Yeah.
thing.
Can you just squeeze all of your wine drippings after you've digested it through your mushroom system?
Ew, that sounds gross.
Your fungal tract?
Trunkle system.
Your mycelium network, if you're a Star Trek Discovery fan.
So how do I break apart one of my gold pieces?
You can ask
Because
for change, or you can get a hammer and a chisel and pop it into pieces. But I would probably ask for change.
Yeah, I'll ask for change, but I meant on the character sheet though, because I only see stuff for gold.
Just add a place for silver, and I'm using the 10 system like D&D does, just because.
It doesn't look like I can modify that section.
Oh well, then here, let me see. Let me pull up your character there.
Yeah, you can just do an ad.
I see
Under
it for
items.
armors and for
No, under items.
items.
You can just do ad.
I
and then
see.
add.
I see other
Oh,
equipment.
okay, I see what you're saying. Golds is at 15.
Yep.
All right.
You have 15 gold? Jesus.
Like
Well, it
I
says-
have a special ability that lets me get recurring funds.
Did you have the wealth thing? Okay. I think in general, certain templates start with more money anyway. Craftsman being one of them, because they have an actual job from starting at the
that's
beginning of the
fair.
game. But yeah, you can just put under equipment, and we can just start writing money down there and not use the funds thing up there, because you're right, it doesn't let you break anything up. That's pretty useless.
I do decimal points since everything is a multiple of 10. So I
that
have
makes
like
sense.
3 points.
Oh, okay.
So
3.7 gold
1
pieces.
gold and 5 copper for both of them.
It was a silver and 5 copper.
1 silver. Okay, so I have 9 silver left, or
8-5.
or 8. So 8 silver and 5 copper.
Right. 0.85.
All right, 0.85.
Yeah, so 10 silver equal a gold, so that is the first decimal point, and 10 copper equals silver, so that's the 100th decimal point.
Okay.
That's how I do it.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. So just think about it as buying stuff with dimes and pennies.
And I got a glass of Vallanthia wine too, which is a silver. You said, okay.
Silver for the good one, yeah.
We're coming up on 3 hours, by the way.
I'm aware of the time. We still got 25 minutes by my clock.
Really?
9:30
Let's
to
see.
12.
Well,
Wait. No, I'm sorry. I don't know why I was thinking we were going to 11, but we were going to 10:30. My bad.
Yeah.
Well, that's too bad because I'm not in a place where I can do a surprise boom. And now we cut because that's. not really
Or
a thing.
can we? Is the wine poisoned? We'll find out.
is the secret ingredient arsenic? Oh,
All right. So to end it, Valthier Thornheart walks up and goes, "If y'all are about done playing around, I'd like to sit down and talk this out." And that's where we'll end game.
Actually, that's actually a really good segue.
Like,
I have a
oh, the
question.
bar
When
and
do
he
we
just
gain
shows up.
I'm sorry, what did I
character
miss?
points?
Valthier Thornheart walked up and said, "If y'all are about done playing around, I'd like to sit down and talk this out." And that's where we end the game.
So when do we gain character
Got
points?
it.
Because I'm down to 9, and I never gained any other than through people voting for us.
Yeah, this is a long adventure, damn it.
yeah. Now that I
It
think about
is.
now that I think about it, I don't think I used my free roll for this game either. So what does that
We're
translate
going to start
It's a character
protesting.
point.
Character point.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well-
it turns into a character point. Sweet.
Yeah,
It's
all-
always
Yeah,
been a
it
character
started
point.
as a character point.
Going to have a player revolt.
All right. So as soon as you finish any one storyline, you got some after the first game because you wrapped up that evil goth necromancer lady like that. But then after that, every plot thread I've given y'all, you pursued and then jumped on another and then pursued and jumped on another. However, to be fair, the guy got away, but I'm going to say that y'all did kind of wrap that one up, even though he did
Yeah,
get
we
away.
caught him. It's not our fault the other guy was incompetent.
I'm going to give you that. You did wrap that one up. So let me look at the thing real quick, and I will see how many I can give you.
Well, and it was also like really bad timing too, because we were like in blizzard conditions, and you also had 2 characters that were severely incapacitated.
Yeah,
and
that's
they
part
would
of
have
the
been
adventure,
vulnerable
man.
too if you had left them alone. If you
You
had to
can't make-
transport.
Those aren't
He's giving us
excuses.
character points.
Yeah, I'm not
Let
really sure what you want me to do with all that. Yeah, it was snowing.
Let the
But-
man calculate, damn it.
All right.
Those sound like whiny bitch ass excuses to me.
Could be.
That's because you aren't a manly man. Because manly man, and a manly man can. Never mind.
Shut up, wannabe Groot.
What are you talking about? I am Shroomroot.
He has said his name a large number of times, but he does say other things.
He does, it's true. He reminds
I'm
me
just
of
waiting
Groot,
for him
the
to
way his
say-
character acts.
Home smash.
All right, so I'm looking at improving characters, but it's not telling me how many to actually. Here it is, character points. Well, let's see. Here's the option to spend them. Fate points. Now I want to know how to get them. I just remembered I put it in y'all's handouts.
Yeah.
But I already closed Roll20 because I thought we were done.
Do you want to figure it
We
out
can-
and let us know?
Yeah,
next
you
game?
can just do it. We don't have to do
You don't
this
really
on,
need to know right this
on the
minute
stream.
Okay.
or in
All right.
downtime.
Yeah, we'll do that. I'll put it in there for you.
Put it on the Discord or whatever.
All right. If you have been using any skills a lot that you think is justify trying to spend a character point to raise the skill, tell me what skill
Streetwise!
you want to raise. You have rolled Streetwise a lot. And,
I have.
I will approve that. Would you like to
Yay!
know I do have the cost to raise things. That's under character improvement. Let's see.
Well, let's wrap this up. We can do all this
Yes.
off the stream. So everybody who's been watching us, thanks for watching. If you watched this entire thing all the way through, you obviously liked it. So hit the like button. We do this every Friday. So subscribe. Sometimes we're off, sometimes we're on. If you ring the bell, hit the bell button, you'll be notified exactly when we're gonna go on. So be sure to do that. From me, from Tarek, Matt, Sarah, Howard, and myself, thanks for watching. This has been the Dead Unicorn. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
You started that with "from me," and then you named everyone else and ended with "and myself."
Well, look, I'm gonna hit the button. We're still on. Don't put it out.